Good afternoon and welcome to Blundstone Arena for Saturday afternoon TSL action. A big clash in store for you this afternoon. It's the Clarence Roos up against the Launceston Blues. The reigning premiers up against a team many are fancying. We'll be going deep into September this year. I'm Andrew calling the action today. And alongside me is Bo Downham. Bo, what a perfect day for football we've got here.
I don't think you can ask for better, Andrew. I think the conditions are going to really suit both teams, and I reckon this is probably going to be the best conditions we get all year.
Yeah, I think the ground looking pretty pristine, the sun beating down, not too much wind to speak of. No excuses for the foot skills today. There's quite often a few excuses there when we get to the depths of winter, but
yeah,
certainly today expect, I reckon, a pretty fast-paced game because they should be able to move the ball pretty nicely. Both these teams have started the season well, with Launceston winning their first couple of games. Clarence with a big win in week 1 against Lauderdale, then a little bit of a momentum killer with the bye in week 2. So they're back in action this afternoon, but two sides that would be pretty happy, I'd imagine, with how things are going at the moment.
Yeah, well, the bye certainly didn't help Clarence in a form perspective, but they've got some injuries coming back, so both teams are going to look to win this game. I think this is probably the game of the round, it must be said. I'm not taking away from any other games, but these teams, as you said, they're going to be up there at the end of the year, hopefully, and it's going to be a big game for both teams.
Yeah, a lot of new faces in the Launceston outfit this year. There's still kind of a core group from that juggernaut they've built down the years, but definitely a lot of younger bodies out there. And might just even the competition up a little bit more. We've seen the Kingborough Tigers start well, but Clarence was super impressive week 1 against Lauderdale. Really beat them up around the ball. I think that's going to be a key area once again today if they can get a hold of that engine room.
Well, it's going to be interesting because last week Clarence they lost the hit-outs by a big margin. So I think the hit-outs is going to be one. The game's going to be one in the hit-outs department. I think coming up an experienced ruckman. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can combat the ruck situation they had in round 1.
Yeah, Sam Green, very much a mobile type ruckman, not yet a traditional tap ruckman. He'll look to kind of get Groningen on the outside and run him off his feet. It's going to be a fascinating duel, as it always is. We're just about ready to get underway here at Blundstone Arena. Perfect conditions for football.
Who are you tipping, Andrew?
I think I'd have to go with the home side here. I was really impressed with what I saw from them in week 1, but geez, it's probably the first time I've tipped to get Launceston in 2 years, I reckon.
I'm going to go the same.
So we'll see if the youngsters can step up here for the Blues. The umpire will bounce it down. We'll get underway. It's Green and Groningen. Bounce favours Green. He taps it down. Couldn't quite be gathered by Preshaw. Coming in, Rainbird. He flicks it out there. Now a tackle laid, but Groningen gathers. He's caught. Just got the handball away in time to Paul Freeman. Paul Freeman had his kick charged down, swerves back the other way, flicks a handball inside. Strong dumping tackle from Rainbird there and forces the stoppage.
Already you can see the pressure shown by Clarence there. They had 118 pressure rating last week, so they're hoping to get more.
Yeah, they're frenetic around the ball as Blues will try and get out there. Another tackle laid by Mitch Rainbird in there. Luke Swinton takes it round the outside. The rebounding halfback flank of the spoil comes from Atkins from behind, fists it out of play.
Yeah, good pressure already so far. It's even territory so far for these two teams on the wing.
Both teams keeping some deep forwards at the moment. Green reaches over. Groningen won it down though. Out after that is Bailey Gillow. He was mown down and out of bounds on the full. So Clarence will take over on the wing. The prolific Baxter Norton with the ball in hand. What a key mover he is in this engine room of the Roos. He'll send them inside 50 for the first time this afternoon and try and give his big man Holmes a fly on it. Couldn't quite bring it down. Ball in dispute now. From it over the top, sent deep in the Garland direction, but just taking it front there was Keegan Ryan, I think, who's got it. Just outworked the defender, outmuscled him, and he'll go back for a shot on the angle to open up the scoring.
Great body movement there by Keegan Ryan just to get off his man there and take a really good mark and to get the first goal of the game. The Clarence Roos already pumped up pre-game, so to get this first goal, they're going to be really ecstatic.
Certainly vocal in the warm-up, that's for sure, as Keegan Ryan will go back and try and split the middle. Umpire moving, and he's just hanging out to the right. So a missed opportunity there for Ryan, the first behind of the afternoon. And it's going to be a a key part of this Roos side, and a big job for the Blues defence with Ryan, Holmes and Garland. There's some tall timber down there.
Definitely.
So the ball back in dispute. Tumbling it forward was Anderton. He was prolific the other day. Handball back outside. Paul Freeman came in. Felt a Rainbird. Rainbird sweeps the handball back inside. Gillow couldn't quite gather it. There are Clarence players run into each other. Gillow, I thought, just got in the back a little there, but the umpire lets him get away with it.
It did look like that from where we were, but Brad Percy will throw the ball up.
So, back into play. I think we've got our issues with the scoreboard resolved. Apologies there for those that are watching at home. Just trying to sort that one there. A few internet issues here, but seems to be working now as we'll have another stoppage. Green and Groningen will resume hostilities. They'll go out all day. Paul Freeman already busy here. He tumbles a kick forward. Off hands and a chance for the Blues to send it forward for the first time through Wiggins. He kicks it deep, searching for Hines, and nicely defended away from him. 6 goals last week for Hines. He's coming in red hot.
I was just going to say that. He's done really well to defend that. 6 goals last week, probably best on ground. So they're going to have to watch him in the forward 50.
So the umpire will send it back into play once more. No ruckman gets clean possession. First to it there was Norton. He's tackled and going nowhere.
He's coming off some form in round 1. Norton got the Speak Up State Chatty medal, so he'll look to build off that game.
Yeah, called that one. He was outstanding all afternoon long. Hines first to the fall of the ball. Flicks a handball out the back. But gathered in the end by the dangerous Dylan Riley. He retreats to Terrell. Terrell will pump them deep inside the forward 50. Just unable to take the mark was Keegan Wiley. Off hands. They bore in once more. I think the umpire will call for this one. So a little bit of territory here for the Blues.
Pretty even match so far. It's in the Blues 50 as we speak, but a few stoppages and really even so far.
Can they make this early opportunity count? They're going nowhere there. Another strong tackle laid, this time by the ruckman Sam Green. Very good at ground level. Against D. Mountaineer in the ruck contest at the moment. Again, no one able to win it decisively. It's rinse and repeat for the time being.
Back stoppages there. It's going to be interesting to see if Launceston can make do.
Green winning that one down. Paul Freeman hanging on. And the handball get released. Eventually it will. Matt couldn't quite get his kick away. Keegan Wiley with some room to manoeuvre. He sends it across the defence and he finds the mark. Now Luke Swinton trying to provide some bounce out of defence. Had a short option on, went a little longer instead over the top and pitches ahead of Hines and now to play for another throw in.
That ball movement looked good there from the Clarence ruse there. I think just a quick handball, but unfortunately couldn't capitalise. But neutral territory on the wing for both teams.
So the umpire tosses it back into play. An arm wrestle developing early on here. Paul Freeman takes it away. He sends it inside 50. Dylan Riley presenting up. Just ran underneath it though. Fell out the back where the Roos have plenty of numbers. Swinton faked the handball. That was classy. Got it across there to Beerley. Beerley chips out of defence. Couldn't quite find the mark as it heads towards the wing. And Hines just escorting Tremaine out of play.
Yeah, we could see there again. Clarence moving the ball quickly and going to be interesting to see if Launceston can defend it. But they looked really good there, Clarence, except for that last kick just failed to hit a target.
So the Rucks heavily involved early on. Lots of stoppages. Nicely palmed down to Rainbird. Bit of an up and under kick. Fisted forwards, and now it might open up a chance here for Paprotny. Paprotny sends it deep inside 50. Garland. Well, he looms large in that forward line, Garland, and he gets his first opportunity.
Peter Ryan says it's going to be week by week, but I don't think we'll be seeing that. I think he'll be playing a lot of consistent games. Good year last year, and he's looking magnificent in form and in body stature, must be said. Big muscles out today, out in the sun.
He's been coaxed out of retirement for one last hurrah here, perhaps sensing the opportunity for a big season for the Roos. Can he get his first of the afternoon? It's bending back on the breeze, but not enough. So another miss there for Clarence. They're 2 behind. Launceston yet to score.
Yeah, just shaped it left with the wind there, Garland.
As this one's sent along over the head of Groenewegen. Flicked back inside. Very short of Green. Green turning, sending him inside 50. Only Blues back there. Probably could have taken the mark. Curious option to spoil there. It'll work out all right, though, as it falls to Atkins. But the pressure comes, and Freeshaw lets him know all about it.
Great pressure there, just inside 50. And like you said, he probably could have marked that there and probably upset with himself if he didn't. But, oh well.
3 Blues players there. Garland will be in the role of ruckman here. He just takes it out of the contest and swings them further forward. Punched away from Holmes. Fell off hands. The snap kick is on target. That's a goal there for the Roos. They get their second of the afternoon. I'll tell you what, I've not seen a 35 on my team sheet. I'm not sure if you got the name there of that one. But the Roos draw first blood. They're 1-2-8. And Launceston yet to score.
Great crumb there by the mysterious number. But yeah, just a really good crumb from the Clarence player to get to the front of the stoppage or I should say the front of the Garland barrel. And just to see the crummage there and to pick it up cleanly, get to a little bit of space and snap around the body was just magnificent. See a ball up, Green in there and McCormack.
So they resume the battle in the ruck. Groenewegen down. He's got a hold of Green. Just got the handball away in the nick of time. They'll send it forwards, but intercepting is Hines.
Not bad there. It was Groenewegen, not McCormack.
And here he is again, the big fella. He sends them inside. He found Samuel Foley. Foley just sets it up in front of his forward. McCormack to have a leap at it. Couldn't quite bring it down. Good hands, though. Flicked it out. And now an opportunity to go inside 50 with Terrell. Searching ball. Nicely defended, though, by Wade Wall, the big fella. And Clarence will bounce out of defence. They'll send it wide, but it's just going to elude Alomes and out of play for a throw-in.
They were out there if that kick managed to get a mark there from Alomes. But, again, just a little bit easy out of the back 50 there, Clarence. Launceston will look to tidy that up. Unfortunately, not looking great so far. The Launceston's forwards just putting a little pressure on in the 50.
So back in to play once more. Green won it down, tumbling kick forward, bouncing on its way. Some dexterous stuff there and sent deep in the Garland direction once more. One out deep in the forward line. He's got some support, just needs to hold him up here. Garland with strength, gets the handball away, found Holmes, couldn't gather. Nicely done by the Blues, but the danger's not yet past as Holmes turns onto the right and just misses it, bent late and off target for a behind.
Great stuff there, Noah Holmes. Had a little bit of an injury cloud coming into this game, but great to see he's come back and really good game last week.
So the Blues just under increasing pressure here at the moment. And they'll clear defensive 50 now. Swinton flies, but Schoenmaker was there, took a strong mark for the Blues. Doesn't have a lot ahead of me like, so chip short to Jake Hine, or Liam Canny, sorry, pushing up here. Impressive in round one was Liam Canny, just a handball across to Jaden Hines. He speared one low, but spoiled away. Tackle laid by Beerley. And the ball up. And you mentioned pre-game that Clarence's intensity and pressure around the ball really stood out, and we're really seeing that early.
Yeah, it's great to see. A lot of intensity in the Lauderdale game as well.
Slapped down by Green, but straight to the boundary line.
Going to be an arm wrestle this game. Only 1 goal 3. They're going to have to capitalise on the scoring here. It's not going to be easy. A lot of contested ball and tackles laid. So they're going to have to make the most of their opportunities here, both teams.
So back into play. Green won it down. Paul Freeman first to the fall of the ball. He just slaps it on the boot, and he's got a man wide open, and taking the mark is Liam Jones. Just ghosting into the space there. It'll be a tough kick from here, however.
Good vision there from the Launceston player, just to see that Jones was making a move into a bit of open paddock, and equally well taken mark.
So for their first scoring opportunity of the afternoon, Jones. Side angle here. Might be able to just work it back on the breeze. We'll See how he goes, the youngster. He'll kick from around about 40 out.
That's a great
and he
kick.
does work it back. He's got it beautifully working. Straight through the middle. A perfect kick from Liam Jones, and Launceston get their first of the day.
That was a great kick. Just starting it inside the right goalpost, trusting enough to move left of screen, and a really good kick there from Liam Jones. He'll be happy with that. And 1-3-9 Clarence to Launceston. One goal, 6 points. They're going to have to make the most of the opportunities, though, as I just said, Andrew. But I reckon this ruck contest is going to be big for Clarence. See if they can get another one on the board and just branch out a little bit more.
As Deegan Madden is into the ruck now for the Blues. And bounces down. A good bounce that one too. Fell to Paprotny. Smashed it on the boot. Sent them inside 50. Great spoil from behind, but the Roos will recapture the ball here. Loams send it backwards to go forwards. Driven deep in the Garland direction once more. Taken away from him. A little underground handball to the pocket under pressure. And just escorting out was Gillow.
Well, he certainly isn't taking it easy, Colin Garland. Just a little slide there. Looking fit, looking good, and I reckon he's in for a big day today.
He'll ruck against Tiernan McCormack here. We saw him just take it out of the ruck at the last forward 50 stoppage. Will that be the approach again? Went with a attempted volleyball, kind of slapped, didn't get much of it though. Handball just released in time. Paul Freeman applies the pressure, tight to the boundary line, and forced over.
Yeah, continued stoppages here for Clarence inside their 50. It's looking like it's going to shape up to be a really contested game, and a lot of throw-ins for the umpires. They're definitely earning their keep today.
So Garland and McCormack once more. Garland with strength, but McCormack just did enough to prevent him getting the kick away. Little handball found McCormack. Now under pressure, flick one out to Foley. Foley will spread it sideways where Cowley's just peeled off into space. Now the next link in the chain presents itself. Risky handball, didn't execute it. They turned it over here, the Roos. Luke Swinton checks back inside. He's forced to go backwards though because there was a wall of blue ahead of him, but made the right decision and found Bush. He squares it for Green, who was forced to stretch.
They had Liam Canny open there, a little bit of an overlap for Launceston. Great defence there by Clarence.
Green will retreat deeper still to Aziz. They'll try to execute the switch here. See the wide expanses of Blundstone Arena gives teams that opportunity. You can see the wider approach rather than down the corridor at this ground. So they continue to advance it here. Howard, the next link. The Blues structuring up nicely. Everyone pushing up, and then just the one man in Keegan Ryan, I think it is, all alone at full forward. Everyone up outside the 50 apart from that. No one really thought of this stoppage at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like Bryce Alome's down the deepest forward.
Interesting setup. Perhaps they see the height mismatch there and they're trying to really isolate that on Jaden Hines. He does have a few centimetres on him, but it'll be Paul Freeman who takes this one away for the Blues. They launch it forward. Good intercept mark taken. The Roos will chip it back through the corridor.
Great kick by Aziz there.
Sharp ball use out of defence. He's got Borsboom on. Ignored that. And it was a pretty poor kick in the end. It allowed Cowley in. Cowley tried to gather, couldn't quite. Dylan Riley charges up at the ball. Got it to Terrell. Terrell shifts inside. Sends him inside 50. It's all Clarence back here, though. They should be able to handle the situation. Well, they do, but that's a really poor kick. Straight out of play.
Had nowhere to go there, Clarence. Well defended by Launceston to keep it in there, 50.
So Cowley wheels onto the left. He'll pump them deep inside 50 towards the teeth of goal. The spoil came. Fell to Jones for his second. Just couldn't quite get it on target. But a throw in, probably a better result than behind there anyway.
Yeah, first time I looked vulnerable there, Clarence at ground level. And Jones, he's looking like he's going to have a big game. Unfortunately, just missing the dribble kick there, but he'll definitely get a lot more opportunities if Launceston keeps sending the ball in like this and repeat stoppages.
Yeah, Ziz standing him. That's going to be a key matchup perhaps this afternoon. Slightly shallow throw. In the end, it was Wiggins who did the ruck work. Hines on top of it. Couldn't get a disposal. Pinballs around. Rainbird applying pressure. And he falls to him and he sweeps the handball out the back of the contest, weaving through traffic. Little 1-2. Will it find its way to Hines? It does, but he's claimed in a tackle. In the end, free kick conceded. And a serious number 35. Hines just stands it up. It's beautiful delivery. Silver service there. And he's forward leading out. Put it into the space in front of him. Launceston with an opportunity to take the lead here. And it'll be Hines, fresh off 6 goals, looking for his first of the afternoon. So Hines, should be a fairly irregulation kick this one. 25 out directly in front, Jake Hines. Geez, talk about the curse of the commentator. Hangs it out. A real let off that for the Roos.
Yeah, just when Launceston was starting to pick a little bit of, pick some pockets out of from Clarence.
Oh, risky kick, just got over the top of Paul Freeman. They might turn it over anyway. Spills out, flicks the handball. Hyatt retreats to Cowley. Cowley was trying to find Canny in the forward pocket, but just missing it. I said pre-game, no excuses for foot skills in conditions like this, but a few turnovers creeping into both sides at the moment.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that Jones one, but definitely that kick inside 50 there. Canny's looking dangerous. I think if you try to get the ball into his hands, he's created a bit of overlap, and he's looking really dangerous.
So the Roos will look to bounce out of defence. Wall sends them down the line to the contest. No one can take the mark off the hands of Tompkins. Groenewegen comes in over the top. Umpire says I'll have it. An even battle through the opening 20 minutes here. Real arm wrestle of a contest developing. Groenewegen won it down to Hines. Took it on the fly. Got his kick away. Back with courage was Borsboom. Was belted away from there.
Looks like we're going to have a lot of stoppages today, Andrew, which is going to be interesting. But we've had a lot so far, so it's going to be really crucial that both teams get points on the board.
So Groenewegen beaten on this occasion by Green. First to it was Lunson. Handball's over the top trying to find Groenewegen, and another one of those stoppages coming up as the Ruckmen are earning their paychecks this afternoon.
Well, Sam Green's going to have a massive game. Smashed in hitouts last week against a good ruck combo, but he's going to have a big game to prove himself.
As he wins this one down, again it goes boundary side, and I think we're going to have another stoppage. Although a free kick for a little hold's been paid there, so Clarence with the opportunity to repel here, build something. They've just been stopped from getting that transition game going in the last 5 or 10 minutes. Searching ball down the line. And the spoil comes, somehow stayed in play. Lofted forward, an opportunity now perhaps. Oh, forceful from behind by Wade Wall. Defended the situation beautifully. And into the middle there for Howard. Didn't see anything he likes ahead of him, so chips back to Keegan Wiley. Always a good user of the ball is Wiley. He went to Beerley. Now Wiley will give him the opportunity to just chip one short. Considered build-up play out of defence this. Ruben Tompkins. And Tompkins shifts it back across to Wall. Wade Wall working it to Norton. Couldn't quite bring it under his spell. Goes back and tracks it. Cool head there from Baxter Norton. This is lovely build-up play. Keegan Wiley now looking to pick a target inside 50. Couldn't quite. Fell out the back. Rainbird in there. Flicked out the handball. The pressure coming from Keegan Ryan. Numbers favour the Blues though. Samuel Foley. And he's got Hines in space over the top. He flicked it to Paul Freeman. Brody Paul Freeman now runs up towards the wing and sends a searching kick down the line. It was nicely defended by Beerley and out of play.
Cheap little build-up there from Clarence, but Launceston just couldn't get their hands on the ball, and a few marks can go a long way in this game, and as you can see, unfortunately they just didn't get the last kick inside 50 right or get something on the scoreboard, but that build-up from Clarence there, it was really, really good to look at.
It was fine ball use. Groenewegen wins this one down. Bailey Gillow first to it, but just had a rare fumble. Preshaw going nowhere. Somehow got that handball out there though, and now Green. Well done the umpire for letting it go. They send it deep off hands of Foley. Inside forward 50, Garland just handed it off, and now an opportunity for Tompkins. Sends it goalward. Noah Holmes deep down there. Bouncing.
Oh.
Did anyone touch that? I don't think they did. It's a goal for Clarence. Remarkable stuff. Well, Tompkins with the goal. It was not his intent. He was trying to pass, and somehow it's just been allowed to roll on through.
Bit of sloppy stuff there from Launceston. I'm guessing the Clarence player had a little bit to do with that, a bit of interference, but definitely not the intention there from Tompkins, I believe it was, and that was just a magnificent-looking goal.
Yeah, they all count on the scoreboard, and I just think a little preoccupied with the big physical frame of Noah Holmes. Was looking to get body on him, and in the end, the shape of the football struck and took one of those random bounces it's prone to do and straight through the middle.
It was scrappy stuff there from Launceston, but equal skill there from Tompkins. He probably meant that, I reckon.
I reckon that's generous, Bo. The umpire will have to recall this one.
How good's Blundstone looking? The centre wicket you can still say outlined, but great to see that the ground staff have got this up and running. I don't think Clarence have got to train on it too much full length, Peter Ryan was saying, but the ground's looking amazing as always for cricket and football.
Yeah, I think it's still Marcus running the show here. Does a fine job, Marcus Pamplin, getting things in order, and yeah, it is looking pristine today. Groenewegen flicks it over the top to Brodie. Paul Freeman, some room to pick a target inside forward 50 for Paul Freeman. Hines flying from behind. Umpire spotted something. It's a hold, and it's going the way of the Blues.
Didn't quite see that, but holding call there by the non-officiating umpire, I think it was, or the umpire just in front of the contest, but good call. I think Dylan Riley will pass the ball back there.
Jones again, I think, with an opportunity.
Yeah, looks like it. Yeah, Liam Jones, he's going to have a big afternoon. Second goal on the cards, and if I can slot this through, it'll give him real belief. It'll only bring it back to 2 points going into quarter time, which will be about 5 minutes away, I believe.
So Jones, he kicked truly from a more difficult angle earlier in the half for his second of the first quarter. And he's nailed it. So 2 for Liam Jones, and the Blues keep pace here. They're 2-1-13, trailing Clarence 2-3-15.
He's looking good, Liam Jones. Kicked that goal on the boundary and nearly had a second one before with a little dribble kick that went across the face, but he's looking good, and the Blues are going to be up and about here coming into quarter time.
So there might be time for one more goal for either side here before the break. Wouldn't think there'd be too much red time in this quarter. Haven't been obviously too many goals or major stoppages to speak of.
Well, there has been a lot of stoppages so far, but we'll have to wait and see. Timekeeper knows what he's doing.
There's Groenewegen and Green. I think the umpire didn't really want to rebounce it, so just let it go. Rainbird. Drilled forward. That's a bullet of a kick. Beautiful stuff. Presenting up, and it was a Loams. And Loams goes in the Garland direction. Oh, he couldn't quite bring it down. And over the shoulder in the end, an infringement from Garland as he flew up there. Is the call of the umpire. Hines the target of this kick, and he takes the mark. There's Jake Hines, one of the stars of the competition. He's pushing a long way up the field here today to try and get involved.
Have to bring numbers around the ball. There's going to be a lot of stoppages, and they have to try and make a way out and indent of the Clarence defence.
Wall and Groenewegen there. Coming through was Bush. Now spinning his wall. That's got to be holding the footy. The umpire calls it as such. A free kick to Bailey Gillow.
Will Bush manning the mark on his debut today, so congratulations to him, and I'm sure he's got a lot of family in the stands.
Well, there's a big day as Gillow drives them deep inside 50 off hands. There's Jones again for his third. He couldn't quite direct the kick. There was heavy traffic there, and it just impacted the angle he released it onto his boot. But he is looming large, Liam Jones.
I tell you what, Drewy, he's going to have a big game today. Looking best on ground already, it must be said, and nearly a third goal there. But get it into his hands, I say, for your Launceston.
Absolutely. He's running hot at the moment. Beerley get it out of there. He'll have a second attempt. There's a little trip there, I think. Yeah, the umpire spots it. The free kick will go the way of the Roos.
Get out of jail free card there for the Roos.
So Beerley just calls to settle it. Now he'll go the short option. finds Bush, as you mentioned on his debut. Chipping short again, Alomes leading up at the football.
It's up quite high, Bryce Alomes. They need another tall target down the field.
Well, I think with Garland and Holmes, they're kind of shifting who's the deepest of them, who's leading up. It's making it quite difficult for the defence to track those matchups, I reckon. So I'm seeing all three of them as the deepest forward at different times in this quarter.
Definitely be a handful for Launceston.
So Jack Tremaine will send them forward once more. That one was always to the favour of Gillow, though. And Josh Gillow takes the mark. Well, risky kick to Paul Freeman, just letting Garland. Garland will just send it over the top. That is the one part of the ground you do not want to turn the ball over when your team is springboarding forwards, because there are now men out everywhere, and Noah Holmes will go back for a very gettable shot.
You don't want to turn it over there, Drewy. Unfortunately for the Launceston defender there, just bit off a bit more than he could chew. But Alomes, big game last week, injury cloud. He'll be looking to get on the scoreboard early and really set his tone in this Clarence side. And as we were talking about before, there's a lot of different options that Clarence can go for. So it's going to be really interesting to see where he ends up at different times of this game.
Yeah, you got the three options. Here's Noah Holmes. You kick 3 in week 1. That's a dart right through the middle. Clarence get their third of the afternoon in the shadows of quarter time. 3-3-21. They move along to the Blues 2-1-13. And look, Paul Freeman, you can understand the want and the desire to get it to him as often as possible, but there's a time and a place for it, and that just was not it.
No, it wasn't at all, but you can see what he was trying to do, just showing a little bit of intent with Paul Freeman, and unfortunately it didn't work, but on occasions it will work, and if it did work then, I reckon be really a big hassle for the Clarence defence, but unfortunately that incident didn't, and Alomes just slots a really good goal.
So Green, Groenewegen resume their duel. Groenewegen comes over the top, wins that one down. Flicked out to Preshaw. Jack Preshaw sending it wide. Spoil came from behind. Now a foot race out into space. Bush looks it over the top, and that'll be quarter time here at Blundstone Arena. A tightly fought opening term. It's Clarence 3-3-21, holding sway over Launceston 2-1-13 at the first change. Your thoughts on that first quarter, Bo?
Really impressed with Sam Green, actually. I think the ruck battle is going to be big, and obviously Jones for Launceston's been massive down forward, just creating another option. But it's going to be really interesting to see how Launceston combat the three big tools for Clarence. Garland is going to be a handful. Both Holmes brothers are going to be a massive as well. So, yeah, I think it's really even so far. That goal from Clarence just brings them out. So, yeah, I reckon both teams will be relatively happy, but Launceston didn't want to give up another goal coming into quarter time.
So we'll take a quick breather here at quarter time. Clarence holding sway by 8 points at the first change. 3-3-21, Launceston 2-1-13. Be back with you shortly. So we're back for quarter number 2 here at Blundstone Arena. The Roos holding sway by 8 points after a tightly fought first term. Hostilities set to resume here in the second. It's been a real arm wrestle of the game, filled with stoppages. We'll see if either side can get a decisive break in quarter number 2. As the umpire stands in readiness here. There's a few players just getting to their spots. We're ready to go. Green and Groningen in the ruck. Favours Groningen. Won it down straight to the opposing ruckman. Green, though, tried to lumber away. Flicked out the handball. Just eluded Gillow. In there gathering it was Terrell. Terrell over the top to Groningen. He'll send them inside 50. Goes looking for Hines. It just dropped nicely for him, Jake Hines. He's capable from this range. He'll wheel onto the left. Was just closed down though. Ran into some trouble. Boylsboom got him. Impacted the contest well done there. Boylsboom. Wade Wall crashes in. Swinton over the top. And just as it looked like Hines was set to go, he found himself staring at a red and white wall.
Great teammate there from teammate block there from Brodie Wiggins to get Hines in front of the ball and to mark that.
It was good in the build-up. Green slaps that over the top. There is Hines once more. Somehow gets a kick away. He'll just pitch inside the field of play. Stays in before escorted over the line. And we'll have a throw in deep inside 50 for Launceston. It'll love an early goal here just to cut that margin back to 2 points. Wiggins in the ruck this time against Green. Well, that looked a little high. Umpire will call for it.
Yeah, goal for goal here at Blundstone so far. So if Launceston can get another goal, 2 points, and the belief will start to build again.
And the Wiggins once more opposing Green. Green with a flying leap and he's able to flick it away. Beerley was in there. Jones loomed large in quarter number 1. Scrapping away. It's hot in the kitchen right now. And the umpire's going to ping him for holding the football. No attempt to get rid of it. In the umpire's estimation. And the free kick will go there to Preshaw. Preshaw chips backwards. The Blues have done a pretty good job kind of setting up defensively on this far side, so it's going to be tough for Clarence to execute the switch. Green's made a really good run though, just got away from his opposing ruck here and he takes the mark in space. And the next option is a short little kick, didn't quite work out, tumbling off the hands of McCormick and now to play for a throw in. Great
run there from Sam Green just to get to the open space and to take the mark. The kick didn't necessarily work out, but really good vision there. He's very agile ruckman, as we've seen so far early in this game.
Yeah, that's his strength. He might not win the hit-out count every week, but he'll get you around the ground. He'll run the opposing ruckman his socks off week to week. As he wins this hit down to his teammate, though, and now Clarence look to charge through the middle of Blundstone Arena. They'll swing it forwards in the direction of Garland. Foley doing well opposed to him, despite giving up some height. Flicks it across now. They'll wheel inside, and in space is Jones. In the middle of Blundstone Arena, he looks up. It's a slightly open forward line ahead of him. Couldn't hit Gillow. Vitavener and kicked that one. Swinton took a man on. He's surely gone. Great tackle there and holding the football, says the umpire. As Swinton tried to spin away, there was no escaping.
Great intensity there from Launceston to bring the guy to ground and swing him around, which normally means you're holding the ball.
So deep, a lot of bodies parked back inside the forward 50. Snapping over the shoulder was Wiggins. But he couldn't quite direct it.
.28 hardball gets from Launceston last week is he's got someone down just in front of where we're kicking out. Looks like he's in trouble.
Yeah, so just trying to sort the scoreboard again here as you have a look here. It is Rainbird down by the looks of. He's being carried off there, so that's a concerning sign for the Roos.
It's never good when you see a player getting carried off like that. I dare say he's probably out for the rest of the game, not to write him off yet, but that doesn't look great for Mitchy Rainbird.
Yeah, as is going on when it has two trainers kind of carrying off in that manner, it doesn't bode too well. So hopefully nothing that'll keep him out in the long term, but you'd suspect that might be his afternoon done. And Clarence down a rotation, so Green and a low dart that just pitches. Nicely done there, going through from Hyatt. And he'll burrow in. The umpire calls for it. Rainbird does look in some pain as he's carried off here. So they lose key mover there. Green tried to leap over the top. Gronawagen got hands to it and bounces off of Paprotny. Now to play.
It looks like his knee down here just in front of us. Drewy, unfortunately, he's struggling to walk on it. Never great signs. I reckon that's probably him done for the afternoon. Obviously no sub rule in the TSL, so I'll be a man short, which will really hurt them. Just see a stoppage on the wing in front of the benches.
So the umpire tosses it back into play. Gronawagen wins it down, but Clarence who take the clearance away through Baxter Norton. Flick the handball to Paprotny. Paprotny goes looking for Noah Holmes. Plenty of numbers back there, and it's Josh Gillow who thumps it clear. As Garland walks back to the goal square. Gillow standing him. Just a slight delay here as we wait for the ball to get back. It's going to be Noah Holmes in the ruck.
You said it'd be interesting to see where he ends up during the stages, and now it's in the ruck.
Will be taken away though by Pfeiffer. And Pfeiffer launches them long. Ball pitches and bounces. Wiggins first to it, just slapped it onwards. Couldn't direct it to a teammate though. And Clarence take the ball. Oh, errant kick missed Liam Howard. They were on if they hit him. Hines through the middle, and now they'll switch it out the far side to Sam Cowley, who's just peeled off. Has to wait under this one for an eternity. Did pretty well, then had a fumble at an ill moment though. Just allowed Paprotny back in. Swinton drives them forward. Gronawagen there to intercept. And he takes the relieving mark.
The big fellas look good today in the ruck. He's had a few hit-outs. He's been agile around the ground. Big game for him.
Yeah, he's a good player, Joey Gronawagen, as this one's worked down the line. Almost taking the mark was Ryan. Gathers it, then was dispossessed. Ryan tackled by Gillow. As concern here, maybe another injury for Clarence. And another player down in some pain immediately after that tackle.
Oh, you don't want to be 2 men down, Drewy, so this is a sliding doors moment here for Clarence. This can make or break, and he looks very ginger getting up here. Same treatment, nearly getting stretch it off.
Swinton, I think.
The trainers are definitely earning their money today, and it's unfortunate really when you see 2 incidents in the space of about 2 or 3 minutes. It's never nice. We should get play underway in a second.
So Clarence down to 2 on the bench for the time being. And that's going to make life very difficult, especially if Launceston can stay this close on the scoreboard and take it deep into the game. In the final quarter, those extra legs might prove quite telling. So, down. Groenewegen got the kick away. Paul Freeman. And a dump has been called there against Liam Canny. Free kick going the way of the Roos. I reckon that injury earlier was William Bush too, because that seems to be Rainbird on the ball there, unless he snuck back on. He might be right to continue. It's a couple of helmeted players. Anyway, chance for Clarence almost developing, but Hines able to sweep it across. Need a boundary rider down there to keep it frozen, because Rainbird's back out there, so he's on the made a miraculous recovery. It was the other helmeted man who was injured. Anyway, Launceston with the ball on the far wing.
Yeah, not Will Bush, I don't think. I don't think he was in a helmet last time I saw him, but still, either way, disappointing for Clarence.
Tackle was a good one for Paprotny, wins it holding the football. Oscar Paprotny, very strong tackler. And now they've got men free everywhere inside 50. And he just chips it short. And an opportunity. They're just lining up there. Paprotny will go back as just trying to see what we need. We need a boundary right.
Yes, that's true. I reckon we need to get someone down there to figure out what's going on. Maybe I won't have to jump down there at half time and just get the scoop.
So, Paprotny launching it. It's a good looking kick. It's straight through the middle. That's a lovely kick there. And Clarence get their 4th of the afternoon. 4-3-27. 2-2-14. They might be down a player 2 on the bench, but doing some good work on the scoreboard here. They're out by 13 points.
That was just an old-fashioned punt there from the Clarence player there. I believe it was Propotny. Looked steady behind the kick. Really good weight transfer. And as we just see number 33 appear from the bench, who got injured last time. You were right the first time, Dewey. No sign of the helmet player, but I'm sure we'll get updates throughout the day, but never good.
So back underway. There's Rainbird out of the middle. He launches them deep inside the forward 50. It was fisted away from Garland. Holmes lays a tackle. Get a little. Can anyone take clean possession here? Bullocking through and slamming on the boot is Jack Tremaine, and he snuck it through for a goal. It's 2 in a minute for the Roos, and they're out by 19 points.
Warning signs for Launceston so far here. 2 goals in a minute.
Mitch Anderton, the injured other helmet. Thank you, David Moore. Always good with that.
I thought that, but number 14's coming on right now, so...
That's Jack Preshaw.
Yeah, Jack Preshaw, Mitch Anderton.
Mitch Anderton, the one who's done.
Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, but again, 2 goals for Clarence. Brings it out to a big margin in 19 points. In the context of this game, scores are going to be hard to come by, and Launceston need to get a quick one here in reply.
So Green wins it down, and it's blasted out of there by Madden. His kick was smothered a little though. Tackle late, just got the handball away in time. Following up again, Madden. Ground level, they crash in, and now it's a Launceston player down.
Yeah, injuries galore here.
The walking wounded at Blundstone Arena at the moment. Bodies piling up, which you don't like to see.
Can't quite pick up who. My binoculars are aren't great. Not setting in. You just say the trainers. That's three injuries in.
Well, if it is Macca reckons it might be Bailey Gillow, that would be a huge blow. If it's Bailey.
3 injuries in
clutching the shoulder.
Game. Oh no.
So
might even the game up though if they have.
Well, yeah, if it's not Rainbird out and it was in fact Anderson, it's still a key ball move.
Yeah.
He had 24 touches, 11 contested back in round 1. So
never want to see an injury.
Swinton is pacing on the boundary line for Clarence at the moment.
Macca was right, I believe it is number 10.
Bailey Gillow off, just holding the arm at the moment. So that's a big concern. One of their real promising young stars, Bailey Gillow. Hyatt, he gathers it on the left. Ships it forward for Hines, through his hands. Bush. Flicked it across to Tompkins. Tompkins sending it forward. Umpire will pay downfield there for a little push after he got rid of it. The free kick will go the way of Tremaine. Tremaine spears one a little short to half forward. It was taken nicely on the bounce down there and running the outer side by Hyatt. His kick not a great one though. And it's going to be out of play for a throw in.
Luke Swinton just having a run down here with the trainer. So still looking pretty ginger up, but I think we could see him back in the game, hopefully, for Clarence.
Rainbird just got the handball out there to Ryan.
Because we just see Swinton there with the trainer.
He doesn't have the body language of someone who looks overly confident he's getting back out there. No sign of Gillow. He went straight down the race. So concerns for both sides. And Anderson's day almost certainly come to an end. As Clarence will launch forward once more. Holmes stretching, takes a good mark. Just held up and then sends it forward. It's a good-looking kick. Great swirl from behind. Well done, Josh Gillow. Defended the situation well. Danger not passed, though, as Tompkins forces it out in the Garland direction. It won't quite sit for him. Foley stride for stride and a stoppage in the forward pocket coming up.
I was getting ready for the ball to bounce back then. Tompkins.
Yes.
Great goal before.
The chaotic goal in quarter number 1.
A little bit of a magic spell he could have brewed there, but be a stoppage for Clarence in their 50. So another dangerous stoppage.
And the umpire has spotted a ruck infringement there. It's going to be a free kick to Noah Holmes, and he'll go back and have a chance to kick his second of the day. And they real coach killers, those ones, those ruck infringements inside forward 50.
I dare say Mitch Thorpe, where he's watching from today, and the acting coach will not be happy with that, especially inside 50. You can probably cop that in the middle of the ground, but inside 50, you don't want to give those away. As Noah Holmes walks in. Big game last week. 3 goals against Lauderdale, in round 1. He'll line up. Another snag for Holmes, and Clarence just bring their point differential out to 25 here, and probably alarm bells for Launceston at this stage in the game. Two goals, 2 for Launceston and Clarence in front. 6 goals to 3 behinds here at Blundstone Arena.
Yeah, they're starting to kick away now, the Roos. They're taking control of this contest. It was a pretty even first term, but Clarence starting to do some damage on the scoreboard. 3 goals to nothing for the quarter. And with Bailey Gillow potentially out for the afternoon, things starting to take a decidedly turn south.
Yeah, Crack's just starting to open here from Launceston, so you're going to try and patch those up quickly, you would think.
They need the next goal as all in dispute. Preshaw first to it. Turns and screws a kick around the corner out ahead of Tompkins. Stride for stride with him, Jaden Hines, but Tompkins dexterous and he cuts back inside. Rainbird screaming for it in the middle. That's where he headed. Pitched inside, flicked the handball over the top. Green just had to wait on it. The tackle came from Canny. He did well, Liam Canny, against a much bigger opponent. Fell to Palfreyman. Palfreyman looking for Schoenmaker. They just force it forward here. Can they get an entry inside 50 here? They've got the numbers, Blues. Big ball to be won here. Charging out of defence, though. Lovely work done by Harry Fisher. Won a crucial ball for his side. Centred forwards. Fisher will follow up and get another touch here. Dexterous stuff once more. Calm. Flicked the handball over the top. Did it well to Borsboom. Borsboom just chips it out. The danger is averted for the time being. Lovely spoil from behind there. Ryan Terrell killing that contest. Swinton continuing to be put through his paces on the near sideline here. They're certainly eager to get him out there. They don't want to be down 2 rotations to the Roos. Green and Groningen once more. One down towards Canny. Umpire kills for it. It's slightly unnecessary shove there.
He's in good hands, Swinton. Sam from SPR take him through his strides down there.
So penalised in the end, a free kick to Borsboom. He got that kick just horrifically wrong. He knew it as soon as it left his boot. An ugly shank straight out of bounds on the full. So Launceston take over. Here's Terrell. He's got Hines in some space in the middle, but he invites in some danger there. Clarence almost turning it over. They just escape, and now Isaac Hyatt. Hyatt, well, he temporarily had Schoenmaker, but unfortunately for him, just sneaking off the bench was our mysterious number 35. And now Samuel Foley flicks it over the top to Hines. Hines sends them inside 50. It wasn't great service. He was looking for his brother. Just sold him a little short. Mark taken by Keegan Ryan. Long to the wing, over the head of Garland. And then a roll out of play for a throw in as we tick into red time in quarter number 2.
Looks like Swinton going down to the rooms right now with the trainer. Not good signs. So they're going to be 2 players down here, Clarence, for, you'd think, the rest of the quarter at least. Likewise with Launceston, with Gillow going down.
A bit of a shallow throw there. Eventually will be taken away by Jack Preshaw. Flick the handball backwards and they'll send it in the Holmes direction. Over the head of he and Garland. Tackle laid by Foley, but Holmes and Garland gets it forward. Pitches into space. A bit of a foot race here. Oh, just not quite gathering it. Josh Gillow under pressure. Did well though, Gillow. Flicked the handball back, found a teammate. And the relieving mark taken by Hyatt. They managed that situation well. As Ari Schoenmaker on over the top. That's where he heads. Not a lot on further afield. He'll be forced to kick to a contest now. And that's just where he heads. The high flies come in. Will it sit for Canny? Tackles and dispossesses Ryan. Holding the football, says the umpire. Liam Canny will turn and send them deep inside 50. He's looking for Hines in a one-on-one. Strong pair of hands from a classy footballer. And a chance to go back and kick a badly needed goal here.
Yeah, lucky there for Launceston to get that free kick. It was a 50-50 ball, and they just trusted the players around that to kick it inside 50 in Jake Hines. Big game last week as well for Hines, I believe, and we'll be looking to add to his tally this week.
He can cut the margin back to 19 points here, Jake Hines. His side need him to deliver, and he does, as he so often has down the years. Jake Hines sends it through the middle. He cuts the margin back to 19 points.
Solid goal kicker, Jake Hines. 25 disposals last week and 6 goals. So he's good in front of the big sticks and a bit of a ball magnet as well. As they kick a badly needed goal, as you said, back to 19 points now. And you'd say about 8 minutes left on the clock or roundabouts in the single figures for the time remaining. They have a little mothers meeting in the middle, the Clarence midfield.
So a big final few minutes of quarter number 2 to come back here. If Launceston can just kick another one, close that margin a little, keep themselves close, and the extra legs on the bench could prove telling as the contest wears on. Conversely, if Clarence get the next one, anything over 4 goals, a pretty big break here in an afternoon where goals have been tough to come by. Groningen won it down. Good tackle laid there. Absolutely nowhere That's Paprotny. Green with the flying leap. Flicks it over the top. McCormick first to it though. Sends out to Hines. Hines shrugs the tackle. Back to McCormick. McCormick chipping one in the Paul Freeman direction. Was clean beneath his feet, but was immediately besieged by Preshaw. Hines gets it back to Paul Freeman. Paul Freeman's kick smothered. And now Preshaw can send the Roos in the Garland direction. Just pitched in front of him. Foley doing a good job in these one-on-ones against Garland this afternoon. He's giving up some size, but he's more than holding his own, and he'll bounce off half back here. Advantage paid as Foley runs the wing. Drives them inside to Groenewegen. Had to mark that ball. The spoil came from behind, and now the pressure will come from Clarence. They force the turnover. Back through the middle they go. Inside 50. It's a fairly errant kick. It was an awkward one to deal with, though. Turning away with it is Atkins. He found Hines, and Hines punches it out to Hyatt. A safe pair of hands.
Could have been a costly error there for Groenewegen. Thankfully, his teammates backed him up and got that ball back to a Launceston jumper.
Always risky when you float one into the middle of the ground. Big contest here if they can work it for Dylan Riley. Working up the ground. Been quiet today, Dylan Riley. And he give his side a lifty. Fired the handball back here to Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer again in the Hines direction. Jakey Hines starting to loom large. He kicked 6 last week. He's after another one here. That's twice they've just kicked it deep, and he's just flown and plucked them beautifully.
Dangerous minute here for Clarence, or dangerous 5 minutes in fact. Don't want to concede too many more, but Hines looking good there, and just looks like that player who was injured before has popped up again. Drewy?
He has. He got a giant ice pack on his ankle, though, I think. So
yeah.
He'll be coming back
no,
on.
I didn't see that.
Hines will launch from 40, umpire dancing. It wasn't his best kick there, Jake Hines, and offline for a minor score.
Yeah.
3-3-21 to 6-3, and even 3 goals, and he's got the crutches out. Yeah. So that is confirmation that Anderson's day is done, and I would suspect he might be out for a little period. Just looking at him there, unfortunately, for Clarence. So a blow there. This one's chipped over the top. Baxter Norton hasn't been quite as prolific as we often see him today, Baxter Norton. But a good engine. You'd expect him to work his way into the contest. He sends this one down the line. Garland goes up, couldn't bring it down. Ground level, the pressure applied. Rainbird swings it forward, pitches, nicely done there by Terrell. Terrell to Paul Freeman, who wheels into the middle of Blundstone Arena. He sends it wide. Hines in a one-on-one deep again. That'll be the intent, I think, as Sean Maker just drops it over the top for Paul Freeman. Paul Freeman runs inside 50. Brody Paul Freeman just drops it short for Hines once more. And a tough kick this, but his 3rd mark inside 50 in the last 5 minutes here. I imagine he might just wheel around and try and open the angle up a bit here. He does just that. On the left, he punches a low, ugly-looking thing that skews out of bounds on the full.
Again there, Clarence defence wasn't great. James Bealey, his direct opponent, just kind of sagged off him there, but didn't hurt them on the turnaround.
Just hasn't quite had the finishing here in quarter number 3. He's starting to rise to the occasion. Jake Hines, such a star inside that forward 50. The Blues would love another one before half-time here, just to make that margin a little more manageable. As the umpire calls for it on the wing. Tossed into red time here in the second quarter. 6-3 to 3-3. It's been an entertaining half of football so far. Groenewegen and Green. And Green will probably try and have a little run. Groenewegen planted himself, won it down nicely. Terrell in there, couldn't gather it. Clarence take it away, send it forwards. Gathered there by Preshaw. Preshaw sends them in the Holmes direction. Holmes, too strong, too big. Takes the mark there. And he'll go back and take the shot.
Fancies himself from here. I don't know why he wouldn't. 3 goals last week for the big man Noah Holmes, and I think he's already got one today, or he certainly has got one today, in fact, Drewy, and he'll look to just drill this one. Garland in full forward. They're going to double team him, which is interesting, but probably the right option. Big kick, though, for Holmes on the stroke of the quarter ending. He'll bang it home and just to the right of face. left to face for Holmes.
Just dragged it down a little as Hines sends them out. Lovely kick there. He finds Tyrrell. Tyrrell usually makes good decisions. That, however, not one of them. Bit off a little more than he could chew. Turned it over to Green. Green chips it over the top to Baxter Norton. Norton has plenty of options inside 50. He might go himself, though. He wheels onto the left from 50 and threads it straight through the middle. Superb from Baxter Norton. And Clarence kick away to a 25-point lead.
I reckon you've just sparked him there, Drewy. You said he's going to build into this game. Great goal there to run around the player on the mark. And again, Launceston just giving up a goal heading into the major break. It's going to be alarm bells, definitely. I know I've said that a few times, but I think right now for Launceston, it definitely is. I don't know how they're going to combat this. Maybe the halftime break can't come quick enough.
Yeah, they'll be kicking themselves over that one. They'd worked themselves back into the contest pretty nicely. Probably had the better of the last 10 or 15 minutes of Launceston after being jumped a little at the start of the term. But Clarence just making it count on the scoreboard. Those big experienced bodies inside 50 against some younger defenders. And there was just the class of Baxter Norton there on full display. Groenewegen hanging at the tackle here as we tick towards 30 minutes. Time perhaps for one more goal for either side here. Groenewegen unopposed. Palfreyman smashed forward by Pfeiffer. And that's a good mark taken there by Deegan Madden. Hines presenting once more. That's just where he heads, and Hines again. Well, he certainly had the better of Beerley in this quarter. That's his fourth mark inside 50. Only one goal to show for it, though. Absolutely pivotal. He goes back and slots this one through.
Again, Beerley, unfortunately, he's going to have his work cut out for him last week. You would have watched some vision on Hines, I'm sure of it, and he would have seen his leading patterns, but in this occasion, in the last occasion where Hines got a goal, he just couldn't compromise. They need this one, Launceston. He'll strut on the left. Looks like it's straight through the big six, and he's enjoying it as well, giving it the Clarence crowd. So we got 4 goals, 3 for Launceston, trailing Clarence's 7 goals, 4. And that's a much-needed goal there, Drewy, for Launceston on the eve of the major break.
We've finally figured out the identity of number 35. Riley Higgins, the man who kicked that goal all the way back at the start of the game. So thank you for that one. Just not quite on the team sheet. So Riley Higgins was the man who kicked that early goal. And a crucial goal there for the man who's really been the best player on the park in this quarter, and Jake Hines. He is plucking everything down there. And they're just going to want to feed a steady diet of Jake Hines if they're going to get back into this game, I think, Launceston. Rainbird tries to crash through. Couldn't get past Palfreyman, who has been as stellar as always in the midfield. Quality football up, Brody Palfreyman. That one whacked down. Cowley weaving, and just a little chip to Palfreyman. Barely the 15, but he takes it. And that will be that for quarter number 2. Another arm wrestle here, back to 19 points, the margin. At half-time, it was almost a battle of attrition there. Clarence with 2 players probably done for the day, Anderton and Swinton. Bailey Gillow we haven't seen since he went off for Launceston. It was a quarter where Clarence jumped them, had the better of the early proceedings. Launceston worked their way back in nicely. Jake Hines starting to loom large, but a 19-point advantage to the Roos at the main break.
Yeah, that goal certainly helped Launceston out there. Back to 19 points and a little bit of confidence going into that quarter, but it was all Clarence during the second term. A few goals they piled on and some nice ball movement equally. Launceston definitely will not think that they're out of this, and really happy with the last 5 minutes, I'd assume.
So we'll take a break here on the call and be back to you in about a quarter of an hour's time with the second half from Blundstone Arena. And this round 3 TSL clash. It's Clarence 7-4-46 leading Launceston 4-3-27 at the main change. Back to you,
see a number. You saw it.
I'm not sure. He seemed confident.
How long we got?
15 minutes.
Hopefully it's not a big one. No, you just go into the social rooms, mate. I don't think the care room's open. So just go down the back towards the main gate and you'll see a sign. There's a little sandwich board out the front saying you can go in the club room.
Thank you.
Supplied with the captain team sheets, there's not much I can do back up. Like I said, my responsibility whatsoever. Give me the tools to do my job.
Down the Golden Roost, getting hot pies. I've sold out of hot food. So I've got Lamingtons. I've got Lamingtons.
That's not bad consolation.
Yeah, I've only got Lamingtons. I said, Once it's the last one.
There can only be one wearing a helmet, Clarence. The helmet of Clarence.
And deep in the quarter. The odds were on my side.
They were.
But this is why I don't gamble.
Welcome back to Blundstone Arena here after a magnificent first half for Clarence and a not dismal half for Launceston, but they definitely would have thought they'd go a little bit better. Drewy, 19 points the margin, 7 goals 4 to Clarence, with Launceston 4 goals 3, 27. What do you think Launceston can do to improve on this half?
I think they just need to kind of pick up where they left off in the last 10 minutes of that quarter. I thought they were starting to get the better of the contest around the ball. Paul Freeman was stepping up in midfield. I like some work of Isaac Hyde off half-back, but looming large was Jake Hines. They're trying to isolate that matchup with him against James Beerley, and why not? I think he took 5 marks for the quarter. He kicked 2 goals. Got them back into it, missed a couple, one of them certainly more gettable than the others. I think they're going to need a bag of goals from Hines. He looks the most dangerous player on the park. If they're going to get back into it, they've just got to keep themselves close here because they're going to have that extra rotation. Clarence down to 2 on the bench. Launceston, of course, probably missing Bailey Gillow. I can't see him back out there, so I think they're down 1 themselves. But they're going to have perhaps a slight edge as the game wears on, so they've just got to keep themselves in the contest. If they can keep that margin down around 2 goals or so heading into the final term, they'll give themselves every chance to run over the top of them.
Definitely with Jake Hines. We saw his celebration there. Went back for a few bites of the apple, and he was sticking up the Clarence fans, so he's obviously going to be a big factor for Launceston as the siren goes for...
A bit exuberant on the siren there, whoever's operating that.
Good to see the timekeeper he's back. He's had his coffee and Red Bull, and he's excited to go. He just wants the game to get started as the umpires wait patiently in the middle. And as you said, Jake Hines, he's going to be a big factor today. I'd like to see a little bit more from Dylan Riley. Personally, I think he's got a big factor to play, and it looks like Clarence might just be down 1. We've got 3 people straight to the bench, unless one of those have just snuck in for the team meeting. As Riley goes to the wing, my man who I want a little bit more out of, playing on the first game of Will Bush, so he'll definitely try to get him on the run back. And looks like Launceston have also got one down on the bench, so it's going to be interesting to see here. A bit more even on the rotations as it wasn't before in the second quarter, but exciting game here brewing. I think Launceston probably got a little touch up there from the coach, a spray, to try and get them into gear, and I'm looking forward to seeing this game unfold.
So we're just about in readiness here to start the second half. Clarence holding sway by 19 points as we turn for the third quarter here. But we'll bounce the ball and we're underway in the second half at Blundstone Arena. Baxter Norton looking for an early clearance. He just wheels away from Hines. He's kicked one already. He sets sail again. It's going deep inside 50 off hands, and the umpire spots a push. There'll be a free kick going the way of Launceston.
Quick out of the middle again there from Norton. He had a good game round 1. Brewing into his form this game.
It was interesting, Jake Hines at that centre bounce there, so trying to get him really involved. Launceston as Groningen spoils green there. Gathered there was Isaac Hyatt. He claimed in a two-man tackle. Liked his work this afternoon. Isaac Hyatt, and a few nice things. So, slapped down by Garland in the pre-shore direction. Palfreyman draped all over him, and just turning and asking the questions pre-shore. Felt he was impeded a little. Umpire says we'll toss it back into play. So, Clarence on the offensive early here in the third term. An early goal will give them quite the handy buffer. Groningen thumping that one towards the boundary side. Just escorted out of play. It was Canny. Aziz in on him. And you can see Jake Hines has been moved onto the ball here. No shock, they want to get him involved as much as possible. He's looming as the game breaker in that second term, and way perhaps back into this contest. Garland again will do the ruck work, just takes it out and puts the handball to Preshaw. Groningen was strong. There's the man you called for arising in Dylan Riley. Palfreyman tried to charge through too. He couldn't do so. He's claimed by William Bush. Just trying to make something happen there, Palfreyman. He had a busted through, was opening up ahead of him, but strong from Bush, and he sends the ball in the Garland direction, but just drifting back into the space was Foley in front of him and takes a good mark. Samuel Foley doesn't have any immediate options that he likes. Kick to the contest. Leaping up there was Madden, couldn't bring it down. And taken in the tackle there is Riley. Getting his hands on the ball a couple of times early in the opening going here. And they certainly would love a lift from their star man. Groningen strong, but Green will take the clearance. And now a sweeping handball over the top, and they're off to the races here through Jack Preshaw. Preshaw looks up. It's a pretty open forward 50 presenting itself. They drop back into the space now. Foley taken by Swinton. So he has recovered Luke Swinton. He's back out there. So Clarence just the one rotation now. You can see heavily bandaged left knee, but he's soldiering on. There'll be a stoppage inside forward 50 here. Holmes up against Groningen. Groningen wins it down. Looking for Palfreyman. Preshaw first to it. He's tackled by Hines. Palfreyman in as well.
No doubt they'll be wanting to get a little bit more from Jake Hines. He's got the 2 goals already, so he's contributed his bit, but playing him around the ball, they're trying to get a little bit more run speed, I'm guessing, and a little bit more better ball movement out of the centre clearance.
So Holmes will do the ruck work again against Groningen, the more natural ruckman of the two, and he wins that down nicely. Additionally, handball under a little bit of pressure though with Atkins. By hand to Palfreyman, to Foley, to Hyatt. Surging through the middle of the ground is Hyatt. He's got a wide open forward 50 in front of him, but he's run too far, the youngster. Just took a little too long assessing his options and took a stride too far.
Yeah, it did look a little bit fishy from here, I must say, Drewy, and they've paid a nice little travel free kick there to Green.
As Keegan Wiley chips it over the top to his ruckman. Assessing the options, Green. Now, wheels out to the right and sends it in the Garland direction. That drew a crowd, though, and just dropping back into the space was Jake Hines. He chips to Palfreyman, but missed him with it. Turned it over to Preshaw. Preshaw steps it up. Swinton, all on his own, playing deep forward. He might be inhibited a little by his movement, but wide open there. A dangerous area to turn the ball over. It's the second time today they've made that mistake, and Luke Swinton can go back and try and make them pay.
Looks like Hines has done the gutsy thing and re-entered to where he gave the crowd a little bit of a mouthful, and I'm sure they're giving it back to him after that kick. It wasn't a great kick, and he'll line up here. Swinton bravely marching on. Kicks, goal, online. Clarence, another goal here at Blundstone Arena. They've arched their lead out, and they've gone to Hines again, I believe, or another Launceston player's given it. But yeah, look, they just can't take a trick at the moment. Launceston, as it moves to 25 points, as it just dies down a little bit, the crowd around the scruffling Hines.
Yeah, threatened to spark there, but it's a dangerous area. You're going to make that kick back inside into the corridor, you have to be precise. And Hines just wasn't, just put it over the head of Paul Freeman. That invited him pretty short. And Swinton playing out of the goal square. He's normally been a half-back, but being a little more limited with his movement. I think they've just said, look, we don't want to be down 2 rotations. You just stay in the square, do what you can. And he gets himself a goal there and extends the lead to 25. Play resuming now as Blues look to take it away. It's a little bit in the back. Umpire lets it go.
I would just
the next one here, the Blues.
I would just touch on that forward 50 entry there. A little bit of a good don't argue push there to break off their man as we get another stoppage. Just the don't argue for me just set that game up, the ball movement up for Clarence.
Stronawegen wins it down. Clarence will take it away through Borsboom. Handball to the outside to Rainbird. Couldn't quite find his target. It took a tumbling bounce, and that was to the favour of Hines. Flicked it over the top to Riley. Riley back to Hines. The overlap continues as Foley charges out of defence. Had to be precise, and he was. And a little bit of late contact from Howard on Canny. Canny, again, these kicks back into the corridor. They're turning him over and it's killing them. It's exposing him back the other way. They've got men out everywhere here, the Roos. They go deep to Garland, over the head of Garland, and bounces into the post. And a reprieve. Had a couple of shorter options there. I'm not sure Garland was the right one. And a reprieve there for the Blues. So clear the defensive 50. They've just got to tidy up their disposal. I'm all for going back inside. They need to take risks through the corridor if they're going to get back into it, but they need to be more precise with their field kicking. Said pre-game, perfect conditions. No excuses really for it. As this one's driven down the line. Contest is spoiled. Wade Wall will escort this one out of play. Dylan Riley just starting to get his hands on the ball a little bit more as he comes off for a spell. Samuel Coley replacing him. Just starting to get a little more involved is Riley after a frustrating first half.
Swinton has come back down to the bench. I'm not sure if there's much in it, but I did see him hobbling before that contest on the wing.
Yeah, he's pretty inhibited. He's going to be playing at about 50% from here on out, you'd imagine, but they just need him for the rotations as this one's flicked backwards by Hyatt. Paul Freeman wheels onto the right. Has Hyatt met firmly by Rainbird. Hyatt now will send them inside 50, looking for Hines. Spoiled away from him. Handball flicked over the top cleverly by Norton, shrugging the tackle, just got it away in time. Tompkins couldn't gather, trying to squirm free was Cowley. Over the shoulder the call, and it will be brought back, a free kick for Cowley. Madden in some space at the top of the 50, and that's just where he heads. Good spoil though, nicely done by the defender there in Tremaine. Handball across there from Paprotny and work back to Norton. Norton fake one way, then wheeled off the other. He's so elusive, his back's to Norton. That's a lovely kick too. Noah Holmes leading up at the football. He takes the mark. Now he's got Keegan Ryan on over the top. That's where he heads. Garland in a one-on-one. He's opposed to Foley and he finds Garland in the pockets. They've forced him wide though, so he'll chip it back into the corridor. Couldn't quite find Tompkins. Ball back in dispute. They should be able to clear the area, and it's just slammed on the boot on out of there. Plenty of Clarence players parked back here, but dropping one was Bush, and it rolls over the line for a throw-in.
Probably just that last kick inside 50 for Launceston that's letting them down, and equally the last kick outside 50 to create the ball movement. It would just see it go through the hands of a Clarence player, and they'll look to go into the corridor again, but just cut off.
Yeah, it's risky stuff as it's gathered again by Hyatt, but they've made it work pretty well. They keep the ball in motion, squared it back inside for Hines. Hines fires the handball back the other way. Now it's not a whole lot in front of Pfeiffer there, just got held up, didn't have an option to kick to. They go towards Paul Freeman, spoiled away from him, plenty of Clarence bodies back. Rainbird now shifts the handball across, and they should be able to repel here. They'll take it along the outer side, but a poor kick, really. Looking for Noah Holmes, got nowhere near him. The Blues will take over at half back.
Yeah, they're pressing here, Clarence. You can just feel it. They're not giving an inch to Lauderdale. I keep saying that. I did the Lauderdale game last week. Launceston, they're just not giving much to them. Even here, they haven't got much on Launceston, as I get that one right.
Well, they're forced to retreat back to Foley. Yeah, Clarence structuring up really well behind the ball here, and they'll try and operate the switch. They'll send it out to Jaden Hines. The next link in the chain was Cowley. That was ignored, went further afield to Hines, who's worked really hard, gone across the complete opposite side of the field to get to this and give his side an option. Working super hard, Jake Hines, and he'll send them inside 50. Can they find a mark? They can't. It's off hands to Green, and Green chips it out. They're well set up to slingshot off half back here through Bush. Plays the 1-2 with Preshaw, but the return didn't find him. That's all right. They had time to recover the situation. Preshaw sends it wide. The mark taken. Making a bursting run again, Jack Preshaw. That's ignored. And then he does opt to go there. The midfields from both sides really covering some territory here to give options. So Jack Preshaw chips it inside for Norton. It's a crowded forward 50 ahead of him. The leads present themselves. Eventually, I think he's going to have to kick to a contest. He does. Oh, awful kick in the end, just off the side of the boot, read by Hines. Delivery inside 50, not a real crash on at the minute. That's a lovely kick, though. It might open things up here as he finds Tyrrell. Tyrrell chips it over the top. Big ball to be won. Foley, under pressure, took the mark. And gives the quick handball to Paul Freeman, surging through the middle of the ground. Paul Freeman, by hand, he sends it over the top. Can they find the man inside 50? They can. All on his lonesome there.
Jake Hines has been massive this quarter here. Drewy, you just saw that kick, set it all up for Launceston, and they could just slingshot there, and they get into the hands of a goal kicker, I believe. And
Jordan Cowell.
I'll just look to cut this margin down.
So can Cowell cut the margin to 20 points? They need to seize their opportunities. It hung out to the right, and the breeze is sending it that way, so never really had a chance. Would have had to work it back and aim at left goal post as his teammate Jones did with that wonderful goal in the first quarter. So they move along to 4-4-28. 8-5-53. The Roos firmly in the ascendancy here as Rainbird chips it short. And working hard, trying to get back into it, the Blues, but I reckon he's played on out of bounds there. So that'll be a throw in. Good
crowd here today, Andrew. It's good to see some Clarence faces come out and support their team as well as Glenorchy did last week, but great to see the crowd. A perfect day for footy.
Yeah, a lovely day to come out here. Beautiful conditions and an entertaining contest we're being treated to as that one's over the shoulder. Umpire blows the free kick in favour of the Roos. So I'll take it out of defence here. Everyone pushed up the ground here. The deepest Launceston defender is on the edge of the centre square. It is a Paddock out behind as Green wheels off and sends a high and wide kick. I don't know if that's going to stay in. It won't. Drifts across. Not his best work there. Launceston will take back over on centre wing. They need the next one here. The Blues, this young side looking to work their way back in there. So many of their premiership stars departing at the end of the season. It's a real new look side. Without one of their best players in Gillow out there, it's become all the harder. Long inside 50 they go. The fists fly. Back in dispute, trying to get there. Jones already has two. Couldn't quite gather. Good tackle laid by Tyrrell. And the umpire says holding the football and rewards Tyrrell. No effort to get rid of it, so probably fair enough there. Keegan Ryan. They play on quickly. Short little kick. Oh, getting in the way of each other. The Launceston forwards there. No talk, and that's got to be over the shoulder. And the relieving free kick will be paid for the Roos and Keegan Wiley.
Again, you just see that last kick inside 50 for Launceston paying dividends. You can't give an inch with Clarence, and they've done it a few times this quarter and previously during the match. But it's just that last kick inside 50 that they're really struggling with.
Yeah, I think that was the two forwards getting each other away. I mentioned they're a young team. That's perhaps young forwards not familiar with leading patterns, as this one smashed forward by Pfeiffer. Big chance here, but it wouldn't float for Wiggins. Good tackle laid there. Green just got rid of it in time. And out of play for a throw in. 25 points the margin. Launceston deep in attack here. They need to make these moments in attack count if they're going to get back into it. Tossed into play, Gronowegan up against Green. Preshaw flicked it across to Aziz. He clears the area. Garland Played defender in the end opposed to Launceston and slaps it out of play.
It's a big 5 minutes here for Launceston. I think they need to capitalise on the scoreboard. They've had a few inside 50s, but haven't been able to get on the scoreboard, and he's probably letting Clarence slingshot out of the back 50 too easily, but this is a big 5 minutes here for them.
Shallow throw. Another firm tackle laid there. Umpire will bounce it. Throw it up rather. So halfway point of the third term. Clarence have been in control for most of the afternoon here. Groningen beaten on this occasion by Garland. Trying to shrug from that's a great tackle from Preshaw. Just got the handball away in time. Rainbird able to Norton under some pressure. Flying it over the top. Cowley flicked the handball out. Now through traffic, Jones got it to Paul Freeman. Sold a little candy, Paul Freeman. Then handballed it over the top to Riley. Riley holds, chips. Is that going to be 15? Umpire says play on. He's oblivious to it. Eventually he recovers, turns and shoots to Tyrell. He doesn't have the distance. And the relieving mark is taken. And they'll chip it to Wiley. He'll take the mark in the back pocket. Tegan Wiley. Usually a very good user of the ball. He goes looking for Tremaine, who shows a strong pair of hands. Tremaine further afield now, looking for a Loams, but the intercept taken by Schoenmaker. And Schoenmaker runs and drives them inside 50 to the contest once more. Off hands, roving it was Cowell. Over the top from Wiley. It was cool under pressure, and they work it out to Green. Green has his kick charged down, though. Nicely done by Madden. And they'll force another stoppage inside forward 50, but just feel they need to make these moments count. They've had a lot of play up this end of the pitch for the last 10 minutes.
They need to capitalise, and they just haven't been able to do it, especially with the kicks inside, but they need to make something at the ground. If they're going to chew up some stoppages here, they need to make something happen.
And Groningen thumping it down, looking for Liam Canny. Going nowhere. The live wire is young Canny. This is the type of game situation where he can make something happen. Groningen turning his influence in the ruck. Hines just beaten to the ball, nicely done by Tompkins in the end, slammed it on the boot, pitched out of Holmes, and it's just going to be blasted back in there by Schoenmaker. High into the 50, almost taking the mark was Cowley, couldn't quite. Now the bodies pile up, fell out to Cowley, he flicked it out to Jones. Jones from a standing start, as he got his third of the afternoon, he has. Liam Jones having a fine afternoon here at Blundstone Arena. He has his third for the afternoon, and they cut the margin there back to 19 points.
There we go. That can be the start of something for Launceston. Jones has had a big impact on today's game. 3 of the 5 goals in this contest. So if they need someone to go with him, though. I think they need someone to really help Jones. He's been enormous. If he wasn't here, I reckon there probably would have been 2 or 3 goals less than what they have so far. So they need someone to go with him.
He's kicked 3 of their 5. He's very good inside that forward 50. That's just an instinctive finish from him, but impressive performance today from Liam Jones, and he's on the ball here. He'll be at this stoppage. He's matched up there with Rainbird, so Green this time favoured by the bounce, and he spikes it forward. A couple of players overrun it. Tompkins first to it. Slaps it inside 50. Fortuitous bounce gathered by Loams for the instant response. Bryce Loams. In the blink of an eye, they respond, Clarence. And that really stings Launceston. They've had to work so hard for that goal. They've probably dominated the last 10 minutes of play. Finally got the goal to show for it. And Clarence just walk it out of the centre square and go bang, cancel it out.
Yeah, just too easy there on that occasion for Launceston. You get a goal back and you think we're right back in this, but Clarence just being able to capitalise there, and a good kick by Bryce Salome was a little bit instinctive and a nice snap around the body. He's been big today. He's took a few big marks, but Launceston need to answer again here. They're going to be on the defence for a long period of this quarter.
So back out to 25 points as we tick into red time in quarter number 3. Groningen and Green. Ryan just overrunning it. Groenewegen goes back in at ground level. The big fella stooping together. Flashing through there was Hyatt. And now they'll wheel and turn. It's the live wire Jones again. He has 3. He's inside 50 for goal number 4. Liam Jones. He didn't quite catch it. He probably should have gone the drop punt. Just tried to bend one round the corner in the end. Just needed to keep the beeline going and drive the drop punt through there. It would have been a sensational goal. But really impressing is Liam Jones.
He's been massive today, Liam Jones. He's just been everywhere in the forward 50.
A forward 50 stoppage here. Madden, as the ruckman takes it out of the ruck. His kick was spoiled. And it'll tumble out of play and they'll reset here in the forward pocket.
Need to create something from this Launceston just to cut the margin down to, again, 19 points. Just to give them a little bit of confidence going forward, and if they can get 1 or 2 quick ones here, they'll definitely be full of them.
They've definitely had the better of this quarter, Launceston. Can they find another avenue to goal? There'll be another stoppage here inside forward 50 as the umpire circles. It's been Launceston dominating the territorial battle in this term. Not really making the inroads on the scoreboard to show for it. Umpire spots a free kick, and it's going the way of Launceston. Always a bit of a raffle, those ruck ones, but Deegan Madden, the recipient, and he has the chance to cut it back to 19 points.
They need to take the chance here. Yeah, like you said, a ruck free kick, and if they can get one here, they'll bring it back to 19 points, the difference, and it's kind of loomed around that 19-point differential, occasionally leading out to 25.
So Madden leans back on the kick and puts it out of bounds on the full. Doesn't even trouble the scorers, and they need to take their chances. That'll do them no favours. And let them off the hook there. They should have more to show for their play in this term, as Wade Wall will blast them outside of 50. He's got Garland on his lonesome, who'd pushed up the ground. He goes in search of Bush. Couldn't quite find him. Dived on top of that one. Umpire calls for it.
I want to check the big man Sam Green's GPS. Dewey, he's been all around the ground. He's been agile. He's had a few hit-outs, a few good moments. His GPS will be blowing up.
Yeah. Oh, the Clarence player's just been put down off the ball here.
The umpire's missed that. It was right in front of him.
Well, I wonder if our cameraman Macca caught that. We might be reviewing that one a few times midweek, I reckon, as Clarence now try to get the clearance forward. It's all in dispute, but by hand they're able to work it out the front of the stoppage. They'll send it deep. Holmes is caught behind here. Forced to play from behind, turning away with it Cowley. Tumbling kick.
Yeah.
And the umpire calls ball in. I thought for a moment he was just looming.
Looked like he flattened the first game of Will Bush there. I can't pick up who the Launceston player is, but they've gone after the debutant.
Oh, I just looked over and saw a Clarence player collapsing to the ground, so I didn't capture that one, but I'm sure that'll come under further scrutiny. As the double fist from Garland inside forward 50 to Holmes. Clever taken handball, was slick. The shot is drifting, all out to bounce. That was their detriment earlier in this game. Gathering now in the forward pocket, squares it up, and an easy goal there for the Roos. All alone in the goal square was Holmes. He slaps it through. They have another one, and they're just scoring a little too easily when they go forward, Clarence. They've been very efficient this third term, and they extend the lead to 31 points. Some nice work there from Riley Higgins in the build-up. 31 points approaching three-quarter time. It looks a pretty decisive break, this.
That window's getting an absolute smashing down there behind the Clarence 50. 10 goals from Clarence and dominant so far, and they have to do something to bring it back on their terms. Launceston, a player short as well as Clarence, so they've haven't handled that as well as they probably could have. Lonnie.
Groenewegen wins it down. Hines will try and get there, but Green, agile as ever, got to it. Strong tackle laid by Hines.
He's been in and around everywhere, Jake Hines. I really liked his game. Hasn't been as impactful on the scoreboard. He's obviously got 2 goals, but he's been everywhere for Launceston, really trying to bring him back in this game with Liam Jones.
He's the star of the competition, there's no doubt. Green fires the handball out to Aziz, who'll send it wide. Jaden Hines leading back in the race here and just worked at boundary side, took it out of play. It might be an unfortunate out of bounds on the full though, and it is. So the free kick will go the way of Riley Higgins. No, the field umpires just overruled the boundary umpire there and said, no, it wasn't. We'll throw it back in. So the overrule from the controlling umpire there, a stoppage instead. It's thrown back in, Groningen and Green. Green leans in and wins it down. Through the contest. Well, it's a fairly aimless kick though, easily picked off by Keegan Wiley. He's able to shift that one across. And they'll just slow the tempo down. They'll be happy to take this lead into three-quarter time as on a searching lead was Paprotny.
There's scrap down here in front of us.
There is play continuing in the meantime though as Clarence will go deep inside 50 in the Holmes direction. Too big and strong Noah Holmes. Just used his frame, protected the drop zone and reels in another one and he can try and extend the lead to 37 points.
2 goals already, Noah Holmes. He's coming off the back of 3 goals in round 1, so his form's been a massive for Clarence. The scrap probably just let Launceston down there. They needed numbers back to try and make an impact, and Holmes on a difficult angle for a right kicker, it must be said, will go back and try slot his third for 3 goals each game in round 1 and 3. We'll run in straight through the middle, and Launceston just can't take a trick at the moment, Drewy. They just can't make an impact, and Noah Holmes will make them pay for it. 3 goals today and 3 goals last week. He's been enormous.
Yeah, look, just a little outsized down there. A young defensive unit, some new faces down there. Just too big, the bodies. They've got so many weapons with Holmes, Garland in particular. Just tough matchups, and Clarence defence doing a good job at the other end. It's been a pretty even quarter, really. Launceston have arguably shaded it, and yet it's 4 goals to 1 in favour of Clarence. They've just had that efficiency going inside forward 50 because they've been able to isolate those matchups. Launceston just haven't quite been able to do the same at the other end, and 37 points now. Clarence with a match-breaking lead here as Hines wins the clearance. Can they get the instant response? Was looking for Groningen. Couldn't quite get it. Paul Freeman deep forward. Skips through traffic. Hands it off to that man Jones again. Can he bend it back? Not quite. A minor score only. He looks a threat every time he goes near it, but he couldn't get that one on target.
Absolutely. They need someone to go with him. He's just so dangerous up forward, Liam Jones, as they'll kick out Clarence.
Chip to Liam Howard in the pocket by hand. He goes to Wiley. Wiley drives them down the line. Good spoil came from Foley. Garland kept it in play. Ball back in dispute. Terrell got there. Hot handball. Good sweep there from Hyatt. And now they'll charge off through Terrell. Terrell over the top. Will it sit there now for Pfeiffer? It didn't quite. It wouldn't accommodate him the bounce. It allowed Borsboom in. He just slaps it on the boot. Ball back into dispute. Off hands away from Madden. And there was Schoenmaker. Clarence win it back though. Keegan Ryan. Handball over the top to Green. Green chips. He's got Garland all on his own. And Garland's now got a loose over the top if he wants it, but I sense with the margin as it is, and Colin Garland not really amongst the goals today, he'll say, I'll just take care of this one.
Again, just another collapse there by Launceston on the siren as Colin Garland will go for his first of the match, and we wouldn't normally say that about Colin Garland, would we? But he'll line up. He can't leave his line. A little bit of an angle, a tiny bit of breeze as well. It'll be a kick from about 45 for Colin Garland. He'll line up, kicks on the way. He'll just breeze out to the right.
Jeez, the wind caught that late. That looked dead on target.
Curtly
about 10
Ambrose
metres from the line, and then the hooping swing late takes it past the post, and it'll be a 57-point margin at three-quarter time. Clarence firmly in command here. In general play, it was a reasonably even quarter, but Clarence are just able to do the job on the scoreboard. Garland acting as a decoy for large parts of the day. They've really looked to isolate that Holmes matchup in particular, where they've had the size advantage. They've just been a little too efficient for the Blues going forward. And at three-quarter time, they lead 11-6-72. Launceston 5-5-35.
Oh, hang on.
Threatening to break out once again. It's been a chippy contest. There's been lots of feeling. There's been scraps and wrestling matches.
Jaden Hines is in that there. He's just chatting Like
Wrong
his
words
brother.
being exchanged between the two camps as they huddle up for three-quarter time. I think it's all simmering down now, but plenty of feeling here at Blundstone Arena. Three-quarter time, Clarence firmly in control. We'll be back in around about 5 minutes' time with the final term. The Roos by 37 at the final change. It's bizarre. Oh, you're gone. You are gone. That's a
Welcome back to Blundstone Arena for this final term here with Clarence versus Launceston. Clarence out to a 37-point lead, I believe, here at Blundstone, and we've just reviewed the footage back with that little strike off on Will Bush, and I think he's probably going to get weeks. Joey?
Tribunal's definitely going to be sitting this week, I can tell you that much. Macca's just got that framed up beautifully, so it'll be an easy one for the tribunal, I reckon. But we'll leave that for those folks to handle. We'll just focus on calling the game here for the final term. 37 points, the margin. Clarence, you'd say, probably got this one in the bag, but I'm sure Launceston will want to fight this one out to the end. It has been a rather scrappy and physical game at times. There's been a lot of feeling out there, and I don't think the effort levels are going to drop off as we hit the final term. But ready to get underway. Final quarter at Blundstone Arena. Clarence holding sway by 37 points as the umpire puts it down in the middle. Up and under there. Just bounces ahead of Paprotny. Smashed forward by Green. Takes a bounce. Awkward one for Holmes, and then spoiled out into the pocket. Handball over the top to Tyrrell. They finesse one up the line. Good hands there from Liam Canny. Nice mark from him. Clever young player, and he sends this one up looking for his ruckman to lead into, but it was the opposing ruckman Green who got there first and just dropped in and intercepted. As Wiley on short, but opts instead to go further afield. Was looking for Holmes. Hines dropping back in the space, got a crucial fist. Underground handball from Foley, turned it over though to Paprotny. Paprotny's got a man on in the pocket. Good spoil there though. Nicely defended. As it was Gillow, Josh Gillow getting across to deal with that. Of course, Bailey Gillow unfortunately out for the day. Went off holding an arm or a shoulder earlier and hasn't been spotted since. And they have missed him in the midfield, I think, today, this Launceston outfit. Garland rucking here, wins it down. Paprotny first to it, slung a full 360. And it's just walked across the line for a behind.
Have to go quickly here, Launceston. He had a few goals on the scoreboard. 37 points, the margin isn't going to be easy, and I'll just go through the middle with Jones. He's been massive today.
He has been fantastic, Jones, and he flicks the handball over the top. Gillow hands it over the top. He's got a man in some space here. And acres of space. They'll go inside 50. Hines the target. Takes it again. He's been so strong overhead all day. And he'll go back and try and kick his third. Got injected into the midfield in that third term, but starting this quarter in the forward line where did plenty of damage up this end of the ground earlier.
Really good kick from Sam Cowley there for Launceston, just to bring them back within 31 points would be massive for Jakey Hines to capitalise here. He's already got 2 goals so far in this game, coming off 6 last week, so he's continued his form. But it won't be an easy kick on an angle, and the breeze, as we saw Colin Garland's kick, just hoop out on the left. He'll run around. It'll be another miss for Launceston. 5-6 Launceston to 11-7.
Probably the only area of his game that's slammed out today, Jake Hines. Kicking for goal. He's been plucking absolutely everything that's come his way, but just let himself down a couple of times with the finishing as Rainbird chips short to Borsboom. Borsboom in no rush. It's not needing to play the tempo game here. The game well within their keeping. Norton offering short for Green. That's ignored. Instead plays a riskier option into the corridor, allowed Pfeiffer to spoil it, bounces over the top, sits for Riley, off hands to Paul Freeman, tries to shrug the tackle and drew the high contact in the end. The tackle just slipping up over the shoulder. The free kick paid to Brodie Paul Freeman. He'll probably go back and shoot for goal from around about 40 out as try and get the first, and if they're any hope of what would be a truly miraculous victory from this point, fair to say Paul Freeman will need to shoot truly.
They need a skipper's goal here, Launceston, just to ignite the spark in amongst their four walls. He'll line up from a little bit of an angle, but the breeze might do a little bit more as Paul Freeman runs around, kicks, slide arc, another miss for Launceston.
Just sacrificing a little accuracy there as he tried to get the extra distance and couldn't quite get it on target. So 5-7-37, and even 6 goals the difference now as this one's chipped in the Harry Fisher direction, went slightly further to Jack Preshaw. Another good game this afternoon from Preshaw. And fine midfielder in this Clarence outfit.
Don't need to do anything silly here, Clarence. Just control the ball. Probably don't want to go through the corridors we saw with that last kick, as they'll just shift to the outer side.
Bealey goes down the line for Wiley. He's got a man on over the top there, and Tremaine, that's where he heads. Tremaine looks up and a couple of overlapping runners, ignores that and sends them inside 50 looking for Garland. It'll pitch just in front of the big fella. He's got the quick handball off the banana, squaring ball to Paprotny. Paprotny dispossessed. Good defensive work there. Getting across was Atkins to save the day. They clear the defensive 50, but it's going to come right back at them. Although able to escort it across the line and force the stoppage. Nicely done there by Campbell Atkins in defence. And Paprotny threatening to kick another. 5 minutes into the final term. Clarence got this one under wraps, you'd imagine, with a 6-goal lead. They're stamping themselves early in this season as one of the real premiership favourites. I think that's going to be recalled, is it? Yeah, just a slightly wild throw, that one from the umpire. So we'll go again. As this time a little more central. Garland in the ruck there up against Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer takes it, just gets a handball away. No, a throw, says the umpire. Advantage, well, it was initially paid, but then the umpire thought better of it and decides there is no advantage. He'll go back to Colin Garland. And the big fella probably a bit too far out here, you'd imagine. But he's a booming kick. He's got some options short. He'll play on and launch it deep inside forward 50. Let them fly and almost taken down there. Not quite. The elevator door slammed shut. And they force a stoppage.
Unlucky there from Alomes, I think. Bryce Alomes nearly grabbing that one down. He moved into the space and Garland saw that he was ready to go there. So unfortunate, but they'll move again.
As Holmes taps it down. There is Alomes. Swung a full 360, holding the football. Had to be. Hines winning the free kick there.
Got to do everything right here, Launceston, to get back into this equal 6-goal game.
Hines clears the defensive 50, searching for the Cormac off hands from Wade Wall. Punched it down, dashing through his Preshaw, finesses it to Holmes, who reels it in superbly.
He can't do anything wrong, Noah Holmes. He's just in immaculate form as we speak, and he's lining up for his 4th here. He's been massive, coming off 3 goals last game, as I said. Drewy, he's just been enormous for Clarence down forward with that 3-man unit, we would say, with Alomes, Garland and Holmes, as he's set to line up for his 4th from a relatively easy spot, it must be said, but I don't want to curse him, as he'll just strut through his routine and look to bag another one.
For his 4th of the afternoon, Noah Holmes leans back, sends it through the middle, no problems, loves his work there, Noah Holmes. He's having a day out. He's had the physical advantage in that matchup there. Just a little too big for Atkins on that occasion. He smashes it through and they extend the lead out to 42 points. And the luxury it is, they've almost been able to use Garland as a decoy higher up the field today and just try and isolate Holmes one out. And just too much size, too much strength. And he kicks another one there. And as you mentioned, started off well. Kick 3 in round 1 was very good that day against Lauderdale, gave him some problems, and again today he's been giving this Launceston defence a torrid old time of it.
I don't blame Peter Ryan for singling him out there in the forward 50. You see with that mark, he's got brilliant hands and he was starting the goal square again, so he's had a massive afternoon, equally as most of these other Clarence stars.
One down, Hines back onto the ball. Samuel Foley gets the clearance. Aziz just pushed off his defender there, though. Just made it a little too obvious. The free kick will go the way of Liam Canny. Distance might be just a little too far for Canny. He'll play on and just stand it up in the Dylan Riley direction instead as he Yeah, he has got a free kick there, Riley, and a bit of an unnecessary one. They had a 3-on-1. They didn't really need to concede it, but they just, the prohibited contact was made, and Riley should be able to go back and provide a response.
Maybe a spark to ignite here for Launceston if Launceston could get it. A little bit of a stretch, but
it's optimistic.
Riley to try slot his first of the game. He's been relatively quiet by his standards, Dylan Riley. He'll come in and slot it through the big stick, so it'll decrease to a margin of 37 here, I believe. And again, Dylan Riley just showing his class.
Yeah, sloppy there at the back from the Roos. Don't think it's going to matter too much at this point, though. Riley gets on the score sheet. He's been well contained today for the most part. Dylan Riley, such a star of this competition down the years. But an even 6 goals the margin as we approach the 10-minute mark of the final term. It's back a little bit of respectability on the scoreboard. They're not going to want to get blown out, that's for sure, Launceston.
The trainer down there, Sean Hunter's had a big day running the water. He's done a great job, and a few injuries as well.
Yeah, the trainers have unfortunately been busy in that regard today, as that one was nicely rucked down by Pfeiffer. And he gets a free kick to Hines, who wheel off to his left here. He might get mown down from behind by Preshaw if he doesn't get rid of it. Did in time, and he found Isaac Hyatt. Thought about the handball, then he gives it across to Tyrrell. Tyrrell deep inside 50 in the Riley direction again, but just plucked out of there, and off they'll go. Clarence trying to provide the immediate dash out of defence. Ballsboom in a bit of a 3-on-1 here. Hyatt with hands across to McCormick. McCormick pumps them deep inside 50 once more. Riley from the side, couldn't quite bring it down. A little bit of a fumble there, almost let in Paul Freeman. Hyatt once more. Borks gave the handball off. Snapped on goal by Madden. Won't quite have the journey, but it falls there into the pocket of Cowley. He'll go back and have a shot from 15 out, just about directly in front.
Maybe hands in the back there from Cowley. The umpire didn't see it though, so he'll line up for his first. And I'm not going to say it because I don't think it's going to be too much of a worry for Clarence if they get this one. But another one, you never know, Dewey. But 6 goals of margin as Cowley just strides through on the left. And he's slotted it for Launceston. So back to 5 goals here. Not alarm bells for Clarence, but I want to probably get another one here just to stamp this game and get it over and done with.
Another one would certainly kill the contest. They'd have to be absolutely perfect from here, Launceston. But Cowley gets it back, and 2 consecutive goals there for Launceston. I don't think that's something not sure if they've managed to do that today, actually. It's kind of been their problem. They get one, and Clarence have been able to kind of immediately respond. But stringing a couple of goals together late on and showing some fight here, which will please the coaching staff here. They want to go out with a whimper. They cut the margin back to 30. Clarence still firmly in control, though, as bounces it down. Pfeiffer just takes it away in the end and able to just charge out of there and send them deep inside 50. The spoil came from behind from Howard. It was a crucial one. And the tackle is laid by Jones. So lively this afternoon.
You just think there if they take that mark and go back. Yeah, it's 4 goals, but
you're trying to will the comeback into existence. I'm here for it, Bo. If we can get the late drama, I'm all for it. It would take something pretty special from here, though, it's fair to say. Gronowigan and Green. Gronowigan slaps it into space. Canny. The handball out to Hines. Hines turns onto the right. Sends it deep inside the pocket. Just taken away from Riley. Numbers favour Clarence here. They try to rush it. They just got the handball away in time, or it would have been ball. Just got the release in the nick of time.
Good pressure here from Launceston. They're looking to lift, but Clarence have the numbers in that position there. Just looks a little bit lost to where to go to. They've manned up quite well here, Launceston, who's just send it down to the wing.
Just working a little bit harder at the moment, I think, Launceston. A few Clarence players not perhaps making those bursting runs they were earlier, as a throw was spotted there by the umpire. With a free kick going the way of the Roos. Yeah, they've are really providing a lot of options on their kind of exits from defensive 50 earlier in this game. Haven't quite had as many in the last 10 minutes. A few perhaps putting the cue in the rack. As Green will just chip it backwards. They can run some clock here. Bealey has had a tough time of it in the one-on-ones against Hines today. He'll spread this one across to Wade Wall. They got plenty of numbers on the outside. Liam Howard next in the chain. And he sends it over the top to Bush. So just 3 men on the far side there. They executed the switch very nicely, Clarence. And now they can drive it deep inside 50. Holmes is there again. Couldn't quite reel that in, but some contact. It won't be a free kick. Well, we'll toss it in. It's a nicely executed switch from the Roos. Deep inside 50 here. 29 points to the margin. Umpire tosses it back in. Garland up against McCormick. Garland won it down. The clearance, though, went the way of Tyrrell. Aziz couldn't quite gather it. Foley just got a handball away in time. Slapped on the boot by Keegan Ryan. Deep to a Loams, but fisted through for a minor score.
They've looked really lively today, the Clarence forwards, it must be said. The 3-man, I guess we'll call 3-man forward line down there, held together by Noah Holmes. Been massive.
Tyrrell clears the defensive 50, and it's spoiled away there by Keegan Ryan out of play. 30 points in the margin. It's the only TSL action taking place on the Saturday. A couple of Anzac Day fixtures headed your way on Tuesday.
They'll be great games. North Hobart versus Lauderdale and Kingborough versus Glenorchy getting back to their helm. Kingborough. Expect them to be up there again as another short throw from the umpire. He'll like to relive that throw again. But yeah, Anzac Day is going to be massive for footy. Obviously the big AFL game, and we've got plenty of TSL action coming towards the viewers here.
Be able to catch both of those ones live, as this one's palmed down, and taking it away is Canny, who'll send them towards half forward, looking there for Madden. Couldn't quite reel it in, and Clarence would take it out on the far side. Just a little too much pepper on that one for Ryan, though. Canny fighting on, did well. Won it back for his side. Height draws a man, there's the handball over the top. Bealey with a crunching challenge, tried to shrug him, and I'm not really sure how that's not holding the ball, because that seemed a pretty clear attempt to just take the tackler on for mine, but
absolutely crunched him then, Bealey. I like to see that.
He's run into him
a bit more
like
intent.
A freight train.
Good to see some intent during these later parts of the afternoon here. It's been a dominant performance by Clarence, and they could have just said, we've done our job here, but no, that tackle displayed some more physicality as Brad Percy will throw the ball up.
Green with the flying leap, but he's beaten on this occasion there by Pfeiffer. Good tackle laid by Foley. The umpire calls for it once more.
Might be going back to first quarter here, repeat stoppages for either side, and just look to wear this clock down. Dominant display by Clarence.
Unfortunately, things did open up as Baxter Norton tries to break free of the stoppage there. Can't do so. There'll be a throw in, but I'll say I'm looking forward to the first Clarence v Kingborough Tigers game of the year. For the first few weeks, I think those two are really establishing themselves as the sides to beat in 2023. It's been a while since the Southern teams you've been able to say that about them. It's been such a period of dominance from the power clubs in Launceston and North Launceston, but a real shifting of the winds perhaps this season, as Clarence will go forward. Holmes not done a whole lot of favours by that kick, and I think it pitched out of bounds on the full.
And by no means we're riding off Launceston yet, or North Lonnie, but it's great to see the southern teams just itch their way in. Clarence and Kingborough are going to be a massive game whenever they face off, and it's probably only those two teams as well as Lauderdale I can see thus far being really in the hunt. Obviously Glenorchy going to have a bit of troubles this year, but I think Glenorchy can win 2 or 3 games. As I watched them live last week, and their first half was amazing, but we'll focus on this game here as Clarence look to run this one out with a little bit more of a lead than 30 points, you'd think. just to bury them with percentage.
So the throw favoured Garland. He flicked it back, but straight to Canny, who was charging through. He sends it further forward. Spoil came from Green. Wiley first to the fall. And a clever little chip kick there. He's such a good user of the ball, Keegan Wiley, out of that defence. Real general back there for them. Quarterback type role. Holmes again the target. This one floats over his head though. The spoil came from Madden. Then a high up and under that's going to come down with snow on it. So high did it go up in the air. Fisted inside the forward 50, only so far as Hines. He repels. Ball back in dispute. Jones trying to win it. Clarence take it away. Across to Sam Green. A little underground kick. Foley first to it. Then he's crunched there. Strong tackle. Going nowhere.
Still some intent there from Clarence. Good tackle there. We saw Bealey have a big tackle as well, and just showing more intensity as well, which is nice.
Going one it down. Screws the kick round the corner. Holmes just with a fairly blatant push in the back. The umpire doesn't know.
Oh no.
Jeez, the big fella's got away with one there. Tough to be a defender on a day like this. Josh Gillow thinking, what can I do? I'm outsized, and now you're letting him push me square in the back.
He'll look to run around here. Holmes. 4 already for this afternoon. Coming off 3 last week. We've said it a few times. The 3-headed beast down there for the Clarence forward line is he'll run round for his 5th.
Out on the foot.
And hyped up a little bit too much there, Drewy.
Yeah, he did you no favours there.
No.
He hung that one near side and never really gave it a chance. Hines will take the kick in the back pocket as we tick towards full time here at Blundstone Arena into red time in the final term. The Roos will be victorious this afternoon. Hines, clear defensive 50 to a contest, and there was that man Keegan Wiley again with a strong pair of hands. He chips it inside for Paprotny.
Still,
Paprotny assessing his options.
Still a lot to play for, obviously. Drury for Lonnie. Percentage points is Paprotny will just send it forward. Holmes, nowhere near it, but Garland.
Out the back, he was the decoy on that occasion, just floated over everyone's head, and there was Colin Garland parked at the back.
He's looking to get a goal today just to fill in the gaps. I think. No, I don't think he has kicked one, Drury, which is unlike Colin Garland, and he'll look to set this one. He'll snap around the corner. He'll run around Colin Garland for his first of the afternoon, and again those snap kicks are not great from the Clarence players. 12-9-81 to 7-8-50. It's been a dominant display by Clarence.
Hines able to saunter out of defence and launch it long. Spoil came from Green. Paul Freeman flicked the handball out. Canny. Paul Freeman again in heavy traffic. Did well to release the handball. Hyatt. And they're able to bounce out of defence here. They've got a loose over the top, and they've got the overlap on here as Cal turns. Opted to square it up, looking for Riley. Just eluded him. Might sit for Hines. He gathers, but was collected in a strong tackle from Bush. And that allows Clarence to clear the area through Bealey, who just blasted on out of there. Alome's first to the football. He's got Tompkins on over the top. Did him no favours with the service, though. Just hung it up in the air and then allowed Pfeiffer to step in and intercept. Pfeiffer, the squeezy little kick looking for Canny, who recovered the situation really well, drew the free kick in the end. And we'll go back behind his mark there, but did well, Liam Canny. He chips a short little one, which spilling the chest mark high. He's been good today. That was not so good. Baxter Norton, who wants to go to his left, and making up for it was Hyatt, who's won the ball back for his team. Shifting across McCormick. Goes looking for Hines. Didn't complete it. Dropped out as he crashed to the ground. He thought he'd done enough. Umpire disagreed. It was a great leap. Didn't control it enough, said the umpire. And
Colin Garland steaming out here, but not enough numbers in front of the ball there. We see a few Launceston players just put their hands to their knees as it gets to the back part of the wing for Clarence. Not much on. He's got Green. If you wanted him, he'll just go down the line looking for Garland. He'll bring the ball to ground. Goes past. And Jones will look to go through the corridor.
Paul Freeman takes over and he swings it wide for Hines. He had plenty of space and he used every centimetre of it by putting it way too far out ahead of him. Even Paul Freeman, usually such a classy user, just letting himself down a little there. And it might open them up back the other way.
They're out here.
2 men out the back here, just all on their lonesome.
Oh, no.
And he somehow picked out the one Launceston player, Josh Killo, be breathing a sigh of relief. He had a Loams and he had Garland. He was in between the two of them, and he was the man they picked out. So a little bit of sloppiness creeping into both sides' games here, with the minutes ticking down and the result well beyond doubt at this point. Long ball, Green doesn't leap at this one, just allows McCormick instead to take it. He flicked it out to Paul Freeman. Riley caught behind, bump laid by Hines. And the tackle will bring another stoppage.
Yeah, just a little bit of fatigue setting in here, probably for the whole quarter, it must be said, or the dying stages, and don't blame him, it's been a scrap.
Paul Freeman goes to Hines. His kick was charged down though by Preshaw. Now Foley slaps it on the boot. Deep inside the 50 arc they go. Good tackle laid there. Again, a stoppage. 25 minutes we've ticked past now in the final quarter. Can't be too much longer here. Clarence going to maintain their perfect start to the season. But Protney, his best kick, Paul Freeman with a firm tackle. Prevents any counter-attack there. There's a couple of injuries, the unfortunate stories out today. Mitch Anderton on crutches, and is suspect will be out for a while for Clarence, and young Bailey Gillow for Launceston, as that one's just smashed out of there by Green. The Loams lurking, gathered though by McCormick. Kick in to Jaden Hines. Hines with the handball across to Schoenmaker. Schoenmaker finds Foley. Foley with a clever little handball and an opportunity for Cowley.
Oh, great smother.
That was smothered, charged down, but Protney just dropped the football. And another stoppage inside forward 50. And the other injury, of course, was Luke Swinton, who came back on briefly, but once the result was beyond doubt, we stopped seeing him. And with a heavily bandaged leg, he might be seeing some time on the sidelines as well, unfortunately. As this one's one down. Paul Freeman through traffic, snaps, but snaps offline, and a minor score only.
Came out and kicked a goal, Luke Swinton, and we thought it was looking really good, but I can pinpoint the moment he was finished. He going to a contest. Just saw his knee, unfortunately. Just jolt, I guess, and a bit hard for him to run there. And
he was quite inevitable when he was in full forward, it has to be said, to get that goal, because there was no one near him really, but he was struggling to move. I think they tried it and went, we probably think better of this, we might just...
Yeah, as soon as the result was in, like you said, they just knew to take him off as a...
Just trying to gather this one was Pfeiffer, who was scored over the line by Preshaw, and Paul Freeman coming in to support his teammate. Has done quite well in the ruck in this final term, young Pfeiffer. He's fought on valiantly. So they've just tried a few different players in different spots in the final term here. Pfeiffer up against Green. Foley gets his kick away. Paul Freeman tries to control, but there's the final siren. Full time at Blundstone Arena. And Clarence have sent a message out here this afternoon. They are very much premiership contenders in 2023. Far too strong for the reigning champs Launceston. A 12-9-81 to 7-8-50. 31-point victory for the Roos. It was a very impressive performance here. 31 points the margin. It was never really in doubt. They took control of the game in the second quarter, and from there they never looked back.
I'm looking forward to round 7, Drewy. Kingborough versus Clarence. Yeah, Kingborough versus Clarence at the Twins. But looking on at this game today, you just saw how dominant Clarence was, and they're a genuine contender, I think. Knocking off the reigning premiers by 31 points. Look, it must be said about Launceston. They lost a few players over the off-season and probably a little bit inexperienced today, but I believe they'll get their coach Mitch Thorpe back, and maybe that'll do something, a little bit of experience for Launceston coming into the season. But it certainly doesn't help that he's out. But they've had a few good weeks, Launceston, and I think today was probably not their best performance. But Clarence were just so great. And it was the three-headed beast down forward with Alomes, Holmes, and Colin Garland, the veteran.
Yeah, I think just senior bodies, a few more mature ages out there today for Clarence. It showed the physical toll as the match wore on. Yeah, I think there's some reason for optimism for the future for Launceston. They've got some really exciting young players. Liam Jones really looked fantastic out there today. I like the work of Hyatt. Bailey Gillow's going to be a star. Unfortunately got injured today, but a lot of youngsters finding their feet, playing their first few games at senior level, and not too many in the Clarence side. They're a more seasoned outfit, and I thought that shone through today. They won the midfield battle, but as you pointed out, it was just the physical edge they had in the forward 50 against some undersized Launceston defenders that I think really was the difference in the end. A 30-point victory, a pretty commanding display, and a message sent to the rest of the league from the Roos. Been a pleasure bringing this one to you. Nice work on your commentary debut there, was it? It was
second game in, so I've got Anzac Day this week. So if you're looking for something to do here, or you're a Kingborough, Glenorchy, Lauderdale, or North Hobart fan, get down to those grounds. The twin ovals for Kingborough versus Glenorchy. We just see a chair of honour for
Connor Wigan, I think.
Connor Wigan, yeah, 150 games. Big ruckman. He tried his all today, and the vice captain. But yeah, get down to the twin ovals on Tuesday, or North Hobart, wherever you want to watch your footy. I believe North Hobart have a really good pre-game ceremony as well as Kingborough would. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to Anzac Day, and if you can get down there, please do. But as we just see today, Peter Ryan showed his class against Mitch Thorpe today, and really impressive win by Clarence by 31.
Dominant stuff from the Roos. So do join us on Anzac Day, but from us here at Blundstone Arena, it's bye for now.